I think we have some audience already here. Welcome back, everyone. Hope you guys have a nice lunch. Take some rest, some toilet break, some water break. And yeah, I think here we are again. I hope you guys are still excited. We are still having more projects to come. And shortly after that, we will see more sharing and also more information coming from our alumni. I think it would give you a more complete perspective of what we're gonna share today. So yeah, but I think maybe let's wait for a couple of minutes. Yeah, while we are waiting for other students or maybe parents and teachers to come back. I don't know how many university students maybe if you're also here or yeah, you just happen to know all in for the first time, everyone who just knew us from Instagram or from our WhatsApp uh, news or any other, or maybe from our website, welcome. And yeah, please feel free to ask if you have any questions, if you want to know more about our student projects that we have already showcased just in a few minutes, a few hours ago. We will have 2 more projects coming. Yeah, and yeah, shortly after everyone is back, I will continue to the next presentation. Welcome everyone, welcome back. Oh, maybe let me see if I can have like a short poll over here. Okay, so we're waiting for some other people to come, but I will just yeah, wait for maybe like more of 2 or 3 more minutes from now, and we will start firstly with Dawn group. I hope you're already here, right? We have Noble, Aaron, and Talva who will be showing their prototype or maybe their application itself for the colorblind people that they have presented just now. Okay, I'll checking in the yeah, what is I think we have can do the sample. Wait. Okay, I think so we don't really waste too much time. I think I will call in um, group members from Dawn. I think I saw Noble over here, Aaron as well, and Salva. If you can start sharing again about your project, I think for the other audience as well, we will have like a quick review or like a demonstration from the uh, app itself, yeah, around 10 minutes, and we will continue with some activities about sleep chronotypes that will be presented by the members of Somnolence. So yeah, so we have two different uh, projects coming up next. And yeah, I think Aaron, Salva, and Noble, are you guys ready for the with the app with the extension?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So I think I'll hand this over to you guys, and yep, we're excited to see what you have for us.
Uh, okay. So, as you might know, we're making an extension for Chrome that helps colorblind people, that helps people with color impairment to see. So the types of color blindness we're helping is red-green color blindness, in particular deuteranomaly and protanomaly, and blue-yellow color blindness with that is uh, trait anomaly and trait anomaly. Yeah. So first, I'm gonna for this demonstration, I'm gonna use this app called Color Oracle that shows what colorblind people see by changing the colors of the screen. For example, in this, you could see this color wheel. Deuteranopia people see the world like this. Protanopia people see it like this, and Tritanopia people see it like this. So this is our colorblind. This is our colorblind extensions interface. You could select which type of color uh, you would like to aid. So let me. This is one of the demonstrations I prepared. So so first you can see that. So if each of these rows uh, is is difficult to see by one of each type of the color blindness. So the top one is hard to see for people with protanopia. The bottom one, oh wait, oh, uh, the bottom one is hard to see for people with tritanopia, and the middle one is hard to see for people with deuteranopia. And then after that, we can use I could use uh, the extension to help people see. So first protanopia, it changes the colors of the screen, and then if we change it back to the protanopia view, you could see it's way more visible now. And then for deuteranopia, it's the same thing. It's now the middle section is way easier to see, and for tritanopia too. And then the next one is this. You might have seen this before. It's the color blindness test. So these color blindness tests are mostly aimed at deuteranopia people and protanopia people because that's red-blue color blindness and the most common ones. You can see in deuteranopia and protanopia, it's very difficult to see the numbers. But if we apply the extension, it becomes much easier to see. Okay, and then this is also what a normal page looks like with the extension activated. It doesn't change the view too much because the blacks and the whites stay the same color, and only the colored only colors change, like blue, this orange. Only those are affected by the extension. Okay.
Okay, so maybe from other team members. Oh, thank you, by the way, Aaron, for your sharing and also showing us the app, and maybe any addition from the other team members.
Maybe I will just add that like it's ready, but it's not yet launched into the Google Chrome. So if you want to look at the extension and stuff after it launch, uh, feel free to join our Discord or stay tuned in the All in Discord. So then we can share our extension when it's ready to be used from the Google Web Store. Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, I think it will be very useful once it's launched. And maybe since we have quite some time for your part, and also I will invite everyone else to join. And maybe if you have some questions, um, probably the one that everyone might want to know is that, like, how do you guys come up with this idea of making an extension that can help colorblind people? I mean, um, yeah, is there any story behind this project that you guys can share?
Actually, so basically, there's a separate project that there was another group of students were working on. So it's like a big project where they would um like modify the colors of the screen to ensure that it's like visible for color blindness. So we just took inspiration from that.
Mm, okay, I see. And um, so far, like, have you ever like talked directly to people who have maybe either it's total or partial colorblind, or and like how do you imagine this uh, app is going to be? I mean, like, what's next for this project?
Probably just like improve it, just make sure like it's even more visible.
Mm. Mhm, mhm.
And also maybe like to to market it to actual people who are colorblind, who are in need. Yeah.
Mm. Right. Yeah, I think probably more of like when colorblind people are looking at artworks, or maybe some other websites that needs really good distinction of colors. I think uh, by having this kind of extension, it will really help colorblind people to be able to see these kind of websites very clearly. And yeah, I think for other students or the audience that are interested in coding, in technology, developing an app or developing an extension, definitely need to check out this group. And yeah, I will also share about All Incubator later on, which is our platform to collect all our students' projects. Uh, and yeah, I think you just can access that very simple. And then yeah, try to have our contact details and then join the group. Okay, so again, like one more question. Any questions from the audience? Okay, I think if not, then we can also proceed to the next group, which is somnolence. So I'll just say hi to Ashley and also Ariel. Is Melissa here as well? Hello, Ariel or Ashley. All right, she's not here then. Okay. Yeah, so I think you guys will have some what to say, like you have interactive sessions with the audience, right? So I think yeah, just to invite everyone else to join. I think if it's I think if you can like also turn on your camera, that will be very supportive for the students as well. So yeah, I think I'll just pass this over to Ariel or Ashley.
Um, yeah, hi again. My name is Ariel. And so from the elevator pitch earlier, you might know that we formed the group Somnolence in hopes that we can convey science in an easy way. If you wanted to find out more about us, you can check out and follow our Instagram at somno.lens. I'll put that in the chat box later. So on to what we're actually going to talk about today, sleep chronotypes. Before we start, feel free to take this quiz to find out what your sleep chronotype is. So I'm also going to put the link in the chat box. If you can't access the link, you can just scan the QR code. We'll give around like 5 minutes for you to do this quiz.
Let me see. Okay, so I think everyone can access this quiz together. I think it's gonna be very fun to discuss the answers, right? Um, okay. Yeah, I think we for the audience that have just joined us in this room, we are taking this quiz. You can check it out on the chat box. And yeah, I think we will have some more discussion on sleep chronotypes coming after this from somnolence.
Okay, so ever wonder why it's so hard for you to wake up early while it's seemingly so easy for others? Why you could wake up at the sound of a pin dropping? Well, for some people, you won't even wake up if a whole earthquake was occurring. Well, that's exactly categorized as your sleep chronotype. Sleep chronotypes are basically our internal clocks, the natural inclination or habits of our bodies when it comes to sleep, which influences many things, such as our energy during certain times of the day. Some people often mistake chronotypes as the circadian rhythm, but they're not exactly the same, although sleep chronotypes and the circadian rhythm definitely do go hand in hand together. So the sleep chronotypes are normally represented by four different animals for an easier understanding: the lion, bear, wolf, and dolphin. Each animal represents a different pattern which will be explored today. So by taking the quiz, that's basically what it'll tell you, like which animal you represent. So before we proceed to explaining the chronotypes itself, allow us to answer the question, why sleep chronotypes? Well, first and foremost, learning our sleep chronotypes can be beneficial in terms of many factors. Let us explain. Each chronotype has its own difficulties, such as perhaps not being able to wake up early or waking up too early. In knowing your chronotype, you can learn tips and tricks to counter these problems. With that said, each chronotype also has certain behavioral patterns which influences many parts of your lifestyle. It can also tell you things like when you're inclined to sleep and wake up, your sleeping behaviors, such as sleeping over alarms, or even which times of day you're most productive. This will allow you to form your ideal routine or schedule based on your internal and personal needs, leaving you in peak form. In addition, you may even discover that chronotypes influence some seemingly unrelated factors in your life. Let me ask, are you sometimes or at most times indecisive? In case you didn't know, the decisions we make can actually be heavily influenced by our body's circadian rhythm. Let us briefly present a study done examining chess players and their circadian rhythms. In the experiment, 100 chess players were divided into three groups based on the time of day to play: early in the morning, at night, and somewhere in between. Results show that although chronotypes don't always determine performance, researchers observed a consistent pattern in decision-making quality and time of day. These are just some reasons that we believe to be important as to why you should learn about your sleep chronotype, but there are obviously a lot more explanations as to why chronotypes are important to understand.
Okay, hello, I am Ashley and I'm part of Somnolence. And now I'll be telling all of you about the chronotypes itself. So first, there's the most common, the bear. Making up 50 to 55% of the general population. Those of you who fall under the bear chronotype or consider yourself a bear tend to have your sleep-wake cycles depend on the sun, meaning that your energy levels are, if not all the time, often optimal during the day. Thus, you are most productive during midday. But when the sun sets, you'll experience an energy slump. Moving on, the wolf chronotype, covering 15 to 20% of the general population. Also known as night owls, people who have the wolf chronotype are said to be nocturnal, active at night. Those of you who are under the wolf category obviously tend to stay up, sleeping late at night, and as a result, find it very difficult to get out of bed in the morning. Because of this, those with the wolf chronotype will find that they'll be most alert during the evening. Also making up 15 to 20% of the population, we have the lion chronotype, the one I'm most jealous of, and I think it'll be the same for you all who aren't lions as well. Okay, so wolves are what we refer to as night owls, and lions, in contrast, are, well, early birds. Lots and lots of energy in the morning, clearly a morning person. However, since lions exhaust most of their energy in the morning, they find themselves tired earlier and end up sleeping the earliest out of all the chronotypes. Isn't the lion sleep chronotype just like the most perfect and ideal sleep-wake schedule, or is it just me? Anyways, enough with the lion. Last but not least, the dolphin, the rarest chronotype, having only 10% in the world. If you are a dolphin, you might find that you're a light sleeper, meaning you could wake up at the smallest of sounds or other indications in your surroundings. If you are a dolphin, there is a possibility that you may have a sleeping disorder, which I'm quite sure you all are familiar with, insomnia. If not, then in short, insomnia is a sleeping disorder whereby you have trouble sleeping when you're supposed to, and as a result, you feel exhausted 24/7. But again, I emphasized that it is a possibility, meaning that you may be a dolphin without having sleeping disorders. However, those with the dolphin chronotype are normally diagnosed or self-diagnosed with insomnia. Okay, now the thing that you are all probably dying for, the tips. Let's do it in the same order, shall we? By the way, the schedule on the left of the slides are basically merely a rough idea of the chronotype's ideal daily schedule, so take that lightly. So bears, who here got the bear chronotype or even consider yourselves as bears? Please react with the thumbs up emoji in the Zoom call.
I do.
Okay, so here are some tips for you bears, and actually for me too, since I'm actually also a bear. Okay, tip number 1. Since you and I bears feel most productive around late morning, tip number 1 is to schedule your most important, most intensive tasks ranging from 10 in the morning until 2 p.m. and schedule remaining tasks for later in the day. Tip number 2. It is highly recommended to turn off your gadgets at around 10 p.m. so that you can get ready for bed at 11 p.m. You know, screens from your phone or laptop emit blue light, and the exposure of blue light will disrupt the production of melatonin, which is a hormone that functions to control your sleep-wake cycle. allowing your body to prepare itself for bed at night. It'll be ready, so it'll be great if you could stop the use of your phone or computer an hour before your bedtime. Okay, now for the wolves. Who here got the wolf chronotype in the quiz or consider yourselves as wolves? Please again react with the thumbs up.
So Myra.
Okay, so if you are a wolf, the first tip is to set at least 2 alarms, since you wolves often find it hard to open your eyelids in the morning. So these 2 alarms are for to wake you up, one to wake you up, and the other to get you out of bed. And the second tip is that as you are most active in the evenings, do minor tasks earlier in the day, finishing more important tasks after 2 p.m. and later in the evening. And the last tip I have for you, since wolves like you have the tendency to stay up late to a rather unhealthy degree, it is highly recommended to again halt the use of anything that exposes blue light to your eyes. Okay, next, any lions here? Please react with a thumbs up. Okay.
Is this the rarest type?
No, it's
the dolphin, right?
with the wolf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See.
Okay, so here's my first tip for you lions. As an early waker with a lot of morning energy, take advantage of this by planning your day ahead and doing some work in the early hours from 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. My second tip is that after exhausting all your energy, not to mention you're the earliest waker, don't forget to sleep early too, at times of 10:30 p.m. as to not mess up your sleep schedule. Okay, now it's the rarest type. If you are a dolphin, please react with a thumbs up.
Is there anyone here is a dolphin? Is it dolphin sleeper? I think this is very rare.
Yeah, it's rare. Okay, so just give these tips to those who you know are dolphins. Okay. Tip number 1. Have some coffee at around 9 a.m. before your productivity explosion, where you can do your most tasking assignments at 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. And by the way, for those dolphins out there, which I know aren't here because it's so rare, I kind of pity you because you all need to rest. So my second tip for you is to try and relax a bit before you go to sleep. Read a novel, take a bath, and if you exercise, don't do high intensity workouts, as those kinds of exercises will keep your body awake and in stress mode, keeping your heart rate up. And lastly, again, stop the use of gadgets. It will worsen your condition. Setting aside all these tips, we have the ultimate life-changing tip, especially for today's talk, ensuring that it'll bring out the best of the tips given previously, the key that unlocks all doors. What could it be? Regularity. Just trying to be frank with all of you here. If you don't follow the tips I gave previously on a regular basis, then not much or even nothing will happen. It's the same thing with food. Eating a salad for once a week won't get you any healthier when the rest of your meal for the week contains junk food. So discipline comes into play too. If you struggle with discipline, we say start from here. Start small, from your sleeping habits. To quote author Robin Sharma, every great finish was once a simple beginning. Start now. Our last key takeaway here for today's talk is to listen to your internal bodies rather than fighting against it. What I mean is that now that you are more aware of your bodily needs and knowing your chronotype, do whatever you think is healthy for yourselves. For instance, people, including me, strive to become like lions who are literally the epitome of productivity because, they sleep and wake up early. But if you're not an early bird, stop beating yourselves and work on your strengths and build upon it. Take advantage of the ideal schedules fit for your chronotype. I believe you might have heard the saying, "The early bird gets the worm." Well, the thing is, it is not entirely true. You will get the worm when the time is right for you. Here are the sources. I'm sorry, technical difficulties. Okay, anyway, I guess that's it for now. I hope that you, parents, peers, mentors, and whoever is in the Zoom call can get something or learn more about yourselves from this talk, even if it's not much. We apologize if we've made errors or we're unclear about something. Thank you for listening and have a nice day.
Hey, interesting. That's amazing. I think this is a very useful information, and I think I have a question from Davey. So very interesting presentation. What is the meaning of your group? I think somnolence, there's not much people that really understand what it is.
So somnolence basically means sleeping. That's yeah, and we plan for now to like talk about sleep science, though again we will branch out again. But for now, we'll be informing others about sleep science.
Yeah. So yeah, I think this is also a very catchy name. Yeah, but and also later on, the fact that you guys will also branch out to other lifestyle related issues, right? That would be amazing. Yes. And yeah, so I guess for everyone who is interested in the in life sciences and also in research, yeah, I guess please feel free to contact Ariel or Ashley. Yeah, and also maybe can join this group as well. Yeah, any other questions from the audience? If not, then yeah, I think oh yeah, so Ashley or Ariel, how can we contact you if you wanna join the group?
You can DM us through Instagram or email us, and we also have WhatsApp if you do too.
Okay, yeah. Thank you. Okay, thank you, Ashley, and thank you, Ariel. Very interesting presentation. Um, okay, so yeah, Renata, you can download Instagram and then okay, yeah, I think later on, Ashley or Ariel, you can contact Renata in person. Yeah, I think she is more comfortable in using the WhatsApp, right? Okay. All right, so I think thank you very much. I think we are also quite short on the next session. Yeah, so one thing that I want to point out is that since you are this is like I think the first time we're having a showcase for our students project, and if you're also wondering of is there any other projects or presentations that you probably want to know. Yeah, let me share my screen and have some information over here. Yeah, so hey, I'll also remind everyone here that we also have this platform called @all Incubator. Yeah, so this is basically our platform to publicize or like to spread the news about our students' projects or the student clubs and also some ideas maybe that is maybe useful for your upcoming projects. Yeah, you can also access that through our Instagram, all Incubator. Yeah, you can also find the groups that are presenting today in that platform, as well as our past projects, and some of them are still ongoing as well. Yeah, so please check it out. Do DM us if you have some questions or you wanna like join some of the groups, or you can also contact the groups directly because usually we tag them on the feeds as well. Okay, and with the time being, I think that's pretty much everything that we have for the student clubs today for the student personal project. thank you everyone for staying tuned. And also, I think I'll once more remind everyone to fill out the feedback form. Hopefully, you're still quite fresh with the first presentation today, first session, which is about the personal brand. Yeah, so please find the link on the chat box and please kindly click that, fill in the feedback form. If you have any questions or any problems with that, please let us know, because I think, yeah, your voice, your thoughts are very valuable for us to be able to come up with more engaging and attractive sessions for all of you. Okay, yeah, so you can either click the link, or maybe you can also scan it over here if it's more convenient for you to fill in the feedback form. And meanwhile, I will also would like to remind everyone that we're having this very special event called Passion Explorer Light, coming at the end of this month, on the last weekend of April, so 24th and 25th. Again, for those of you who are interested in coding, maybe you have some experience, very basic one, but then you are eager to know more about the career pathways or what to do in terms of programming, or you're also interested in optimization, you can definitely join this program. This is a half-day workshop programs, and it will be like a boot camp. So it will be quite packed with more materials. And hopefully after joining this one, you will be more convinced with your choice, or like with your with your choice of on going to computer science and also the related fields, right? So please contact us, and also check our website as well if you're interested in registering for this, or contact the WhatsApp number if that's easier. And again, for the longer part of the exploration, if you want to have summer programs for younger students in the middle school, if you're also interested in what is AI, what is machine learning, right? We will start learning the concepts of it, by integrating 3 different streams from business, engineering, and design. And we will together we will learn how to create machine learning based projects, right? And this is a perfect occasion for your summer holiday. So if you have anything to ask about this, please contact us to our website or to our WhatsApp. And also for high school students, I know this whole pandemic thing probably makes it very hard for you to find an internship or probably a job shadowing. So this is a perfect program for you if you want to have more experience in work environment. We will collaborate with a company and then work together with them to solve a problem, to finish a project. So please contact us if you have any questions or if you're interested in more details of this program. And lastly, for parents, I think this is also a great way to tell us what you actually need or what you're looking for. So you can again scan the QR code. I hope it's not too small, or if you want to fill in the survey, you can also click the link bit.ly/all-in-parent-survey. I think it's on the chat box already. I think your thoughts, your opinion would be very, very valuable to us, right? To keep improving our services. Okay, so coming up next, I think this is already around 3 p.m., right? So I have my colleague over here, Felicia, that is gonna having the session with our alumni. As I mentioned earlier, this would be a different perspective. Just now we already listened from all the high school students. This time we will listen from our alumni, so university students and university graduates, including Darren, right? He's just recently got accepted this year, this academic year. So yeah, I think if you have any questions regarding university life, what is coming after COVID in university, and everything else related to the major, you can also ask in the next session. Okay, so yeah, I think that's pretty much all for this one. For this session, I will call yeah, and also if you have some questions on the feedback form, or if there's any trouble, please let us know, and we would love to help you with that. Hi, Feljo.
Hi, okay, so I guess I'll take over from here
Yeah.
on. Yep, I'm going to share my screen and just directly start the next event, which is the alumni showcase. So wait, let me share my screen. Okay, is my screen visible to everyone? Yep, okay then. So hello everyone, welcome to All in ANNIFE5T Alumni Showcase. This is the, basically in this program, we'll be listening to some insights and experiences from our alumni who are currently studying abroad. So this Alumni Showcase is part of the All in ANNIFE5T event, which starts from 10th of April until 17th of April, as you guys know. And I'll be your host for today. I'm Felicia Jordan from All in EduSpace and the person in charge of All in Connect. So this program, Alumni Showcase, is brought to you by All in Connect. And just briefly, I will be introducing to you what All in Connect is all about, since it's a community that's that's powered by All in EduSpace. So just briefly. So what is All in Connect? Basically, All in Connect is a community for All in EduSpace alumni and Indonesian students studying abroad. So this community is again powered by All in EduSpace, but it specializes towards university students instead of the high school students. And so in this community, we'll be sharing, we'll be helping with networking and collaboration, exposing our students to our corporate partners through giving internship opportunities, job vacancy, and etc. And also information updates and trends about international students studying abroad and other tips and tricks. And as you can see here, we have two main platforms that we're using. It's the Instagram and the WhatsApp. For the Instagram, it's public, so everyone can view our Instagram and see our posts and opportunities. While for WhatsApp, it's more private. It's only limited to All in alumni. All in alumni are basically students in high school who took the admission consulting program from All in EduSpace, and they are now studying abroad. So those are considered All in alumni, and they are part of our WhatsApp group. So what's the difference between WhatsApp and Instagram is basically in the WhatsApp group, we share other exclusive opportunities. One of them is actually part of this All in ANNIFE5T. If you know the corporate speed dating, that's basically one of the exclusive programs that's not open for public, but only for All in alumni. And in that program, we basically connect students with companies for internship and job vacancy. So for the Instagram itself, it's free. Everyone can see the information we have there. We have internship and other opportunities such as job vacancy, competition, lectures, and scholarships. We also post some tips and tricks, tips about studying, doing chores, hacks, and memes. Collaboration and promotions also, sharing surveys, job position, competition, and anything you want to promote, we can help with through our Instagram. And we also have a student program, which is basically for student-led organization, project, or business in Instagram. So that's just a brief introduction of what All in Connect is. I think without further ado, I will just directly go straight directly to the alumni sharing. So In this session, we'll be learning about how All-In alumni build their profile and how they overcome challenges during admission process to the university they are in now. Can I request the speaker, the All-In alumni, to open their camera, please? Video. Okay. Okay, so hello everyone. Thank you very much for being here actually. So the four of these students are part of All-In alumni, and I think please can you guys introduce yourself? Maybe Drake can go first.
Hi everyone, my name is Christian Drake Martin, and I'm currently a year 2 computer science student at NUS.
Can you briefly, I guess, explain about your why you chose computer science? Maybe.
Okay. I think can I share my screen?
Oh yeah, sure.
Okay.
Let me stop sharing.
Okay. So I think salah satu one of the reasons I chose NUS as my campus because its location. It is located in Singapore, which is very close to Indonesia, and Singapore is a developed country and safe, and the living cost in Singapore is I would say quite cheap. It's not as cheap as Indonesia, but it's the cheapest among the country with top universities. Okay, so and then one of my consideration is also the reputation. Currently, if you can see from topuniversities.com, it is US is now ranked 11 in the world, and then also the tuition fee for NUS is quite cheap for this quality you will get from quality of education you will get from NUS. And then most importantly, NUS got my major, the major I want to pursue.
Oh wait, just to clarify, your major is computer science, or is there any? So only computer science.
Sorry.
So it's like computer science, like that's the. Oh, okay.
Because NUS have this faculty of computing, and this faculty of computing have 5 different majors, and one of them is computer science.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think yeah. Why I chose? I think the reason why I chose computer science because back then when I was 8th graders, but this answer is more personal. So back then when I was 8th graders, my piano lesson teacher told me that all the games that I played back then are made by coders and programmers, and then I was interested to learn how to create those games and those programs and stuff. Jadi I asked her about bisa nggak sih I learn further more about I learn further about how to build these apps and stuff. And then she told me that there are institutions that teach specifically their students how to make programs and create application and create games. So
wow.
Yeah, she told me that computer science is the perfect major if you want to pursue that kind of dream. So since then, I knew that computer science is my dream course.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So it actually starts from a game.
Yeah, it starts from a game, and my piano lesson teacher told me that these things can be made. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Thank you. Is there anything else that's like
for now?
Okay. I guess we can move on to the next one. Scott.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. Hello, everyone. My name is Scott Mosnario. I'm currently studying at Diablo Valley College. I'm a second year, transferring this year. And in high school, I went to Smak Satu Penabur, Jakarta. And my major is so like my major is electrical engineering and computer science. And the reason why I choose this major, I really don't have a good reason other than I really just enjoy programming. I think like I pick up programming pretty early on in my life. And so like, I've just like enjoyed programming since then. Been like, writing games, and then like, making like small utility apps and all of that. And then so like it has been like a very natural choice for me for a long time. And then the reason why I choose the country where I'm studying in, which is the United States right now, is really just like, this is like personally I feel like there's like no other country like I mean like there is like, ignoring any other factors, I think like United States is like one of the best place for you to study computer science. Like because like first of all, like especially if you're in the Bay Area, you have like a like very strong proximity to all of the things that is happening in Silicon Valley. So you get to like get to attend conferences, you get to meet a lot of cool people and all of that. And so like I think like beyond that, it's just like you have like also the very strong robust research ecosystem, and then like like all of those grant fundings, and then you get to be in like the very cutting edge of technology as well, since like a lot of this like new technologies really rises or starts in like the like in the Silicon Valley and Bay Area and all of that. So yeah, I think that's really all for me. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Cool. So right now we have two tech guys in different countries studying similar majoring like tech guys basically. Yep. So we'll be. I guess there'll be more insights later on, and I forgot to mention for the audience. So during the entire talk show, if you have any questions, you can just raise your hand or unmute yourself and ask the questions, or you can also write it in the chat box, and so anytime during the session you're free to ask any questions. Yeah. So you don't have to wait for me to offer the question, just like directly ask Ajay. Yep. So we'll move on to the food science. Kenneth, would you introduce yourself?
Okay, so hi everyone. My name is Kenneth Benjamin Sutejo. I was from UNESCO Simprok in high school, and now I'm a freshman at Purdue University studying food science. So one of the main reasons why I chose food science is because I've always loved to like cook and bake stuff at home.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so especially during quarantine, there was a lot of experimentation at home. And I kind of combine that passion of cooking and baking with my interest in science. So in high school, I was really interested in biology and chemistry. So I just like took those two ideas and then I combined them together and picked the major that suits that the most. And
Yeah.
as for Purdue, I chose Purdue because first of all, they have a quite a reasonable tuition and living costs because they haven't moved their tuition up in like maybe 7 years now. So it's still quite a reasonable price. And also Purdue is very well known for their food science program. They're like top 20 or 30 in the country. And they have access to a lot of agricultural facilities as well around the area. So I think that kind of environment can let me study food science
Oh.
full potential.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I'm lagging. Sorry. Okay. Oh, so just are you in the US now?
No. I'm still in Jakarta right now.
Oh,
so
okay. I'll be waiting for the cake. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. Thank you for that, Kenneth. We'll move on to our recently accepted student, Darren.
Okay. Hi everyone. Well, there's been recent developments. I've already admitted myself to UC Berkeley. I don't think I need to explain why, because UC Berkeley reputation, academics, everything is all pretty much the best. I also, one of the reasons that also led me there was I was given the Regents and Chancellor Scholarship. So that's like the only scholarship that they give to international people in UC, and they only give it to 150 people a year.
Wow.
So, it's a great opportunity, so I wouldn't waste it. I'm planning on majoring in environmental economics and policy. I'm not sure if I want a double major or not. I'll see where my studies lead to. The reasons why I decided on that was, So my entire school, which is Chachi School, it's an IB program. So we do middle year program and also the diploma program. So during the middle year program, which was from grade 7 until 10, I had to study all three sciences. So that was like physics, chem, bio. And then I was like captain of the swimming team in my school. So like I also learned sports science with my teacher. So like I experienced that. And then when I moved into the diploma, I had the choice to choose which science I wanted. And then the only science that I hadn't tried yet was environmental science. So I tried it out and then I fell in love with it. And that's kind of why I also led to me deciding this is my major. That's why.
Oh, cool. I will talk more about the scholarship too, because I think we're all really interested in knowing how to get that scholarship with only 150 students getting it. Okay, then. So we will move on to the actual sharing. Oh, actually, before that, I would like to ask about the recent, development or updates regarding the pandemic. So, like, I guess for like your university, maybe for like Drake, Scott, or Kenneth, since you're already not Kenneth, I guess, Scott and Drake, since you did offline and then you're now doing online, like, how does that feels like, or do you have any like I guess how does it feel like first, or like tips in like doing online study and how to be still productive? Maybe Drake, Scott.
Okay. I think
What's like the difference, I guess?
probably the differences are I'm not able to attend any physical class here, and it's kind of boring because right now all my classes are done online, and one of the way I can keep to be productive during this pandemic situation is keep updated with the last materials with the class. So just watch lecture every week, then you'll know what's happening in the class, and yeah, probably you can catch up.
No. So is it actually harder or easier that it's online?
Um, so every semester I will do a different modules, right? So usually I ask my seniors what they did last time with when they did the same module as I'm doing right now, and most of them told me that this semester's module will give you a more workload to the assessment. So I think it's a bit harder because they will give you more assessments to the students, but it is more convenient to study from the room, so because you won't spend any time in the transportation and all that. So yeah, I think there's a good and bad in this pandemic situation.
I see. All right, thank you. What about Scott? What do you think, Scott?
I think the primary difference is really that you really kind of like miss out on like the campus life and all of that. And like so like for instance, like one of the most favorite thing that I like to do being in the US and especially in the Bay Area is like like so DVC is like pretty close to Berkeley, so it's like around like 30 or 40 minutes drive. So like what you can do is like even you don't go to Berkeley is that you can just like go there and attend their events. And like since Berkeley is such like a big school and like a lot of companies are just like doing like a lot of like talks, they have like a lot of like events and all of that. And so like those events are really a great opportunity for you to just like learn and meet new people. And I think like that's like definitely like one of the things that you really miss. You don't really get to attend like whatever things that is happening on your campus and like things surrounding your campus. So like I think so I think that's really kind of like the main like kind of like I would say like the weakest point about like this like whole like online virtual environment is that you really just like don't get to experience the like college full experience really, because like I think like most of my opportunities that I've found really is just like happening before this quarantine thing. So like I've like I'm probably like not a really good example, but I've really just like not been a big fan of just like spending the whole semester just like studying. So like definitely like exploring out and all of that is like kind of like a big part of college for me. And like, with the quarantine, I feel like I lost a lot of that. And that's why I think like most of my friends as well, who is like, going to like Stanford, MIT and all of that, is like, taking a gap year right now, because like I think in general there's a consensus that like, you can't really get much of that out of the college experience if you're just like, sitting down in like college and all of that. But like, since like I want to transfer and all of that, obviously I cannot take a gap year in the middle of this school year. But like, yeah, I think that's definitely like, if I were to choose, I would really, really just like prefer to go back to campus as soon as possible, especially if you're paying 60K for tuition in the US. Like only attending Zoom classes doesn't really make that much sense. So like, so like it's really kind of like, again, this is really why, if you guys have been following about like admissions and all of that, last year most of the like, the admits, let's say like Harvard and like all of that, they chose to like defer your admissions, because I think like a lot of people are just agree that like, if you're paying 60K for Harvard, you want to make sure you have like full experience, right? And I think that's really the same goes for any college, not just like Harvard, right? Because like I think college life is just like very, very much beyond than just like what studying is. And like, I think just like the Zoom classes might be okay. Personally, I kind of like be somewhat thankful about like Zoom classes, because like, because like you don't need to you don't need to like just like, be locked in into that Zoom class. Like, while you're just listening to Zoom, you can just eat and like whatever. You can't do that in like normal classes, right? And so like you have like much more free time in your hand. So like, you can just like use that to just like work on your side projects and like, do other cool stuff and all of that. But like, again, like it's definitely much harder to focus. Like I think like I really agree with like what Christian said, is that like it's just like much harder to focus. And then like, it's just like, like it has like a higher degree of uh like it demands like higher accountability from yourself. Like, like in like classroom environment, you have like a forcing function for you to pay attention. And like in like a Zoom environment, there's like so many distractions, right? You're already on your computer, so you can just like, open a new tab and you'll be like browsing Facebook and Twitter while like, your professor is talking about calculus in the background. So like, so like, yeah, I think that's really kind of like, what happens to me often is like, just like getting drifted away. But like, yeah, I think it's just really, I think like some people do well in like Zoom classes. Personally, I'm not like one of those person. But like, yeah, I just like not have been really enjoying this like quarantine class and all of that so far. But like, yeah, I think I can definitely understand like how people enjoy it though.
Oh, okay. So it really depends on like the kind of person you are, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like it really depends, because like some people like really enjoy having kind of like a empty room where they can study and like kind of like, just like have like, the room for themselves. Personally, if I'm given that luxury, I wouldn't study. So like, that's kind of like my problem. So like, yeah, I think that's really yeah, you just like need to have like a lot of like accountability and all of that. And then like, yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Scott. I guess another thing that I think most people are also wondering, since Darren, you applied your university during the COVID, right?
Yeah, during
Yes. Yeah. How is that different from like? So like, I guess what did you do, and do you know if there's anything that's like different?
In terms of plans, I guess I never wanted to go to America until the pandemic hit, because America announced that they won't look at ECT and ACT test scores. So I had the opportunity, because increases my chances. Yeah, that happened. It's pretty much the same like every other year. It's just that there's no standardized testing, but you should take it as always. For the updates, from what I know, it's based on region. So Berkeley is in California, and it's also a public university, which means that they oblige by like the California law. Basically, what they announced was that international students are recommended, or they're sometimes required, depending on where they're from, to get the COVID-19 vaccine from their respective countries. It doesn't really matter what vaccine it is. What matters is that you've taken it, and you've taken like 2 shots if you have or not. The main reason, I've discussed this with like other people from my grade also, who also got accepted in America. For the UC system, it's because it's public schools. So like the universities can't really offer that many vaccines to the students because they prioritize their local communities. But like if you get into private universities, chances are maybe the university will provide the vaccine for you if you fly in. So it's like that so far, what I've been told.
Oh, I see. But like overall, the admission process itself, it's like, I guess it's it's a good thing for you then, since it excluded the ACT thing. Wow, I see. So for the audiences who you can look forward to that at least. All right then. So now we'll be moving on to the to the more in depth about the before university, the application process, during university, living abroad, and also the expectation vs reality. We're just going to cover some of the things that we can. So it might not be everything, but yeah, we'll just go with the flow, I guess. So I think we'll start with the before universities first. Um, would you mind, I guess, like telling us about your personal brand when you applied for your university, and how you think it affect your application process? I think Darren, maybe you can start first, since you mentioned something about the swimming and also the other activities that you did. Maybe you can also share screen if there's anything that you would like to show, the things that you did that made up your personal brand.
All right, then I'll share screen.
Okay, wait, I'll.
There's much. Let's try and find it. Okay, so I don't know. This is just my stuff that I've managed to do. So I don't know if you can see it or not. There you go. So as you can see, me very skinny, Darren Lee over there, doing community service. I don't know. I did a bunch of stuff when I was in high school and also in like grade school. This is like event that we held with the school.
Which
Yep.
sorry, which of the events did you like mention in your application process?
I mentioned, what did I do? I was president of student council. I captain of swimming team here. Wait, yep, everything there. What else? I played the drums. I did, what's it called? I did like a protest once. Tried it out. Now I know what it feels like.
Whoa, I see.
Model
Thank you,
UN.
Dan.
I don't know if there's a picture. Let me find if there's a picture. Yeah.
Oh,
I went to
HMCA too.
Yeah, I went to Japan on a scholarship also. I made a business, cool stuff. That was a startup, and then I guess that's pretty much about it. Like there's a lot of stuff that I did, and I tried to put all of them into the university. One thing that I can recommend is don't try to force yourself to take something that you don't feel comfortable with. So for me, I just my personality is a very opportunistic personality. So whatever opportunity is given to me, I'll just try it out. If I like it, then I'll give it my 100%. If not, then I'll just put something above it on the priority list. And that's also what I wrote about in my essays. I wrote particularly about the perseverance one. So when I got into Model UN, like in grade 11, which is not a good thing according to people, because that's when your exams hit and then you have to start studying hard and everything like that. But I put Model UN above my school. So I put that above the list. And that wasn't really a good idea according to my parents and school. So they didn't really support me to go to Japan and like all of these conferences. And I just talked about how I made businesses to get money. And then so when I swim, sometimes when I win, they'll give me money. So I also collected that money and I basically saved up, and then I used that to fund my travels for Model UN, stuff like that. So that was pretty much the main focus of my essays.
Oh wow! Oh, cool. I see. Is there anything you'd like to add about, like, I think since you did so many activities, like do you think it would have been better if you just focused on one thing, or it's a lot of things also, like, okay, I mean, since you did a lot of things and you got the scholarship, but like, what do you think about just like focusing on one thing?
To me, it's more of being yourself, because pretty much your university application is you selling yourself. So I sold myself as a person that was willing to try everything, and I really gave my all for everything, no matter how difficult it was. I know my other friends who were like, oh, I already knew what I wanted to study from a very young age, and all the way until I applied, I already prepared everything. I took internships, I did government training, I did everything like that. That also works. My one also works, but I think the underlying thing that we can both agree on is that just be yourself. Don't try to lie on the application. Write as honest as you can. And most importantly, sell yourself. The university application is basically like a a marketing campaign where you just keep promoting yourself about what you are and what you've achieved.
Okay, I see, I see. Okay then. Oh, but I've heard that like how like something to do with like you sell yourself but not really brag. Like you can't really like
Oh,
what do you have anything to say about that, or do you know,
That's
or anything, or anyone maybe like Scott or Kenneth, yeah, or Darren, if you have anything to say also, that would be okay.
I think I can add on to that one because
Okay.
my perspective on selling yourself but not overselling yourself is like, because the university wants you to the university wants to see that you've accomplished a lot of things in one specific category, and not just like do the minimum to accomplish a lot of things in different categories. So you can have like medals for piano competitions, you can like win MUN, you can get award for MUN, and you can get like a valedictorian award. But if you only like explain all of those at the very minimum level in your application, and you don't really go in depth to explain why you chose to excel in these activities, the university can just like scoop your application up and just throw it away, because literally there are 1,500 or like 2,000 other kids from China alone who can do that as well. So you don't seem special to them if you just have a bunch of achievements on your application. And what they really look for is like why you chose these activities, and showing them that you can excel at them. And yeah, those activities.
Okay, so I guess to summarize, like not doing minimum things, but like not doing a lot and minimum, but more to like excelling on like um those things.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. Would anyone else would like to add? Maybe Drake, since you're in the NUS, like could you explain about your application process, how it went, and how you got into your how you got into NUS, and maybe also the high school that you went to and the programs, just for
okay.
for
So
background.
I went to Smart 5 Penabur, and okay, now for the NUS part, admission part. This university doesn't care anything. Uh, this university only cares about your score in high school.
Oh,
So,
okay.
so you don't need to do anything like being in a student council or win any competition. That is even related to the subject that you're applying for. At at, at maybe you want to join the competition, like if you want to go for computer science, you want to join the international computer competition that will be um, a selling point for you to be admitted to NUS. So I think that's the the, the competition that maybe you want to consider if you want to go to NUS. But other than that, they will only consider your score, and during the admission, you will need to submit your report, and they will check your 6 lessons score, 6 courses, and those are mathematics, physics, biology, chemistry, English, and Bahasa Indonesia, weirdly. And
Oh,
they will take the average of those scores. And if your average is, let's say, more than 89 or 90, then you will be invited to attend the UEE, which is the University Entrance Examination. So once you
oh,
are invited to the UEE, the University Examination, all of the students over there have equal chances to get into NUS.
oh wow. So there's an entrance examination where
Yeah,
you.
there's an entrance examination for NUS,
Oh, okay.
and it
Okay. I
depends.
didn't know that.
The lessons that you will be tested depends on your major. For example, for me, I applied for computer science. Therefore, they asked me to do math, physics, and English paper. So they will test 3 lessons for me.
So like do you know how many students are invited to the entrance examination and how many will pass? Do you have any idea?
Okay. Um, as far as I know, I think during my batch, around 300 students were invited. Uh, were invited to attend the test. So, and then among those 300 students, around maybe 80,
Oh
80 will
wow,
be selected.
that's not even half. I see.
Yeah, 80 students will be selected. Those who can do the test well, I think they will selected to go to NUS. Yeah.
Okay, so the process is basically the report card and maybe some competition that you have. That's
Yeah, but the
like that.
competition you wanna do is the international level one, so they will consider your achievement. Because if not,
Oh,
if it's not high enough, then they will not consider even further. If your school report, your school scores on those 6 lessons are not good. Yeah.
oh wow. Okay, I see. Okay, that's a very different way. That's a very different application process kind
Yes.
of process. Wow. Okay. Um. Okay. Any? I guess maybe. Scott, would you like to add anything about US application process?
Um, so US application process, huh? Uh, I would say like probably it depends. Like if like it's like what kind of university are you targeting for? So if you're like I think like as most of people do are trying to get into like highly selective universities like the UCs and all of that. Like definitely I think like having like something to speak about is like really useful. But again, I think what is like very very important is just to like be genuine. Like I guess like kind of like pursue your own interest. And I think it's just like I think I can't speak for like college admission officers obviously, but if I'm reading like my friend's essay who is just like doing stuff for college admission, it's like pretty obvious. Like you can just like you can see like a lot of people who are just like oh yeah like trying to start a nonprofit and like you don't really understand like why are you starting a nonprofit, right? So like I think like in general like in the US the general sentiment is like especially in like the top universities is they want to have like a more holistic like kind of like approach into evaluating yourself, right? So it's not going to be kind of like only your SAT, not only going to be your ACT, because like like those SATs and ACT everyone gets like a high score, like everyone's get like everyone's applying there, you gotta have 1500 something or like whatever. And so like what really divides like the people is just really like kind of like your personal experience, right? And so like if everyone's like doing the exact same stuff, then like of course you're not going to be able to stand out. And so like I think what the college admission process in the US is really looking for is that like kind of like you're just kind of like seeing like kind of like different like kind of like different characters in people, and then they try to build like the first cohort based on that like kind of like like profiles that they have in their applicant pools. So I think that's really kind of like what I can say. Definitely like in contrast like Asian universities, which I also applied to while during in high school, is that like the university admission process in the US is much more convoluted in a sense that like it's like not obvious. Like you can't like say oh yeah you get 1500 SATs and then you get to this school. That doesn't work like that. So I think it's definitely like kind of like a more of like a very very human and say like a very very I would say it's like a very very also archaic process. It's just like very very like it's very very hard to decipher. And so like a lot of people are just like they definitely like spending a lot of time trying to like understand the whole college admission process. And again like I think it's really also why like in like if you see a lot of like people applying to US, they apply to multiple schools as well, because like again you don't want to bet like I don't because like when I was in high school, like people applying to Asian universities usually they have like much more like kind of limited set of universities they apply to. For instance, like back in high school, like I think in like 11th grade, 10th grade, I didn't think about like trying to go to the US and anything. And so all I have in my mind is like just going to HKU or something at Hong Kong University, because like everyone in my school get accepted to Hong Kong University if you're just like okay, I guess. And then like and so like you can just like basically just like apply, and then like and like the chances of you getting it is like pretty decent, right? So like with that, it's like there's definitely like very very much less incentive for you to for you to just like okay, I'll just like apply to this limited set of universities, in contrast to in contrast to the US, where it's like much more unpredictable in a sense. And so like I think that's really kind of like what I can say about the admission process. I think like I think Asian universities is much more straightforward. I personally have like a tendency to prefer like Asian universities in that regards, in a sense that it's like kind of like more straightforward. However, like I think it's like, I think there's like some merits into the way that US admissions are doing like their way of applications. It's just like that's definitely much more like, hard for people trying to understand it from the outside. Like, you can read all of the college admissions website in the US and they'll say the same thing. They'll say we want to have like a holistic approach into evaluating our candidates, and like you have no idea what that means and like what they're looking for and all of that. And so like, so it's definitely kind of like a lot of like pattern matching, right? So like, you see like how like other people who have gotten in, like what do they do? What is like authentic about themselves, right? Like what do they kind of like, what is their approach to doing this whole admission process? What is good about what do they do correctly? What did they do wrong? And reflect based on that and build kind of like a pattern matching engine. Like, you see like a lot of people and like they just basically kind of like, find the pattern of like, what happens. And I think this is also like what's happening right now in like college, right? So like, I'm currently in like Diablo Valley College, and like Diablo Valley College, for some context, is basically a transfer school. So like, people spend 2 years here and then transfer out to say University of California, like, Berkeley, LA, and stuff like that, or maybe transfer to like say USC and so, or UW, and so on and so forth, right? So like, what happening really, really actively in like, especially in Indonesian communities here, is that people kind of see a pattern, right? Like, so like, to be a successful candidate, here's some like very basic requirement for transfer students. It's like definitely getting all the courses that they want to look for and all of that. And so like, this is like definitely kind of like the way that people, I think, generally approach US like application process, is just by pure pattern matching. Like, kind of like, where there's just like some similar occurrences, like what did this person do correctly, what does this person could improve, and all of that. But it's definitely not a formula process. You don't have like a X plus Y plus C, plus Z formula that you can just calculate and then get your exact chance of getting to university. So like, I think that's definitely what I can share about the US process.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much for that, Scott. I think I have a question actually for Drake. Did you only apply to NUS, or is there any other university that you applied to?
Okay, I applied also to some universities. I applied to NTU, and then HKUST, Hong Kong University of Science and Technology, and CUHK, the Chinese University of Hong Kong, and one more I applied to Melbourne University.
Oh, so you applied? Oh,
to 5
okay.
universities.
So
Yes.
none in the US or the.
No, I'm not interested to study over there because I
Okay.
think it's too far from me. Yeah.
Okay, I guess if we may know, like, did you like for Melbourne University, right? You said.
Yep.
Did you get like accepted in there in Melbourne
Yeah.
University? Yeah.
So for national curriculum students, they will accept it with the minimum score. I think at 60 or 70 for at least the students from my school, because they will study in what is called, I forgot, the foundation program. So they will study at the foundation program over there for the first 8 months. Then they will transfer to Melbourne University.
Oh, okay.
But the chances, if you already get into the foundation program, which is the Trinity College, if I'm not mistaken about the name, the Trinity College foundation program, your chance will high to get into Melbourne University.
I see. Okay, okay. So you got accepted, but you chose NUS in NUS.
Yes, correct.
For the I guess for NTU, did you also like got?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I applied for NTU that I got material science and engineering as my major, and it was my first major since I was not really sure whether computer science is the right decision for NTU. But then I got offered computer science in NUS, then I chose NUS as my university.
I see. Okay.
Okay.
Very.
And one more maybe, for the admission process, for the numbers of students that will be invited to the UEE, the test. So there is no such thing of cutoff points for the minimum score for students to get the admission to the university examination. So it's as long as you're the top 300 students in among those who apply for NUS, then you will be entitled to the test. So you don't know the cutoff, the minimum score.
Oh,
So that
okay.
you will
So
be
it's like the top 300 basically.
Yeah, the gray, it's in the gray area. You cannot specifically know the score, the minimum score.
I see. Okay. Thank you, Drake.
Yep.
Okay. I think I would like to ask maybe Kenneth if there is any high school projects or activities that you did or in university also that you feel is like relevant.
Yep, I can definitely share some of those. So yeah, if you don't mind, I can share my screen as well.
Yes, please.
Okay. So can you see the screen?
Not yet. Can okay now
Okay.
I can.
So just like from these pictures, I actually have a lot more activities that I didn't include pictures, but just from these three. So the most obvious one, the right one here, is that I was part of the volleyball club at Venus, and I was the captain for about 1.5 years. And I use this as part of my application to uni because they sometimes request like a list of clubs or leadership positions that you have done in school. So I included one of this, and also the top one here. I was part of the core committee for the Asia Pacific Young Leaders Conference. So it's basically like a multi-regional conference that we invited schools from Japan, Korea, New Zealand, Singapore, and Taiwan to come to and like we have a conference for the students so they can discuss global issues. And coincidentally, 2019 was us at Indonesia as host, so I became part of the committee. And so that was also part of one of the prompt questions that I was given when I was applying for university. And I used that experience as being part of the core committee and, telling them how it was a new experience for me, it bring me out of my comfort zone, and how I learned that being a leader is not as easy as it seems, and all that stuff for the application. And another activity that I included in the application was my research program at I3L. So I3L is a local university at Cempaka Putih. It's in Indonesia uh, Life Sciences University in Cempaka Putih. And I did a food science research program there for about also a month and a half. And what I basically did was I shadowed the professor around the campus and basically help him with his research proposals and like how to deal with a lot of the things in the lab. So I learned about lab protocol. I learned about a lot of the food science theories, as well as like the good food science practices that are used in the industry. And that's one of the major points, like the major highlights of my application as a food science major, because I'm showing them that I have interest and I have passion in the major I'm applying for, and that's what a lot of universities look for in their applicants, which is like genuine passion in doing and learning for a major, and not just you're learning the major because it has a good career prospect and a good like a lucrative industry in the future.
I see. For the I3L, you were saying earlier, how did you manage to get that position?
So it's not so much of an internship position. It's more of like a research. It's like a research program. So I look like on their website. There's openings for like programs for like biomedicine, for biotech, and for food science as well. And you can actually apply for these programs. Like I think every summer they open positions to apply, and then you can pay a small fee, and then you can like shadow the professor and you learn from them as well.
Oh, so you applied it yourself through the I3L website?
Yep.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Okay, thank you very much, Kenneth, for the information. Yeah, so I think I will go through to the how your application process in a more detail. Since I'm the audience are probably like still in high school, I think, and are will be applying to university soon. Um, so for everyone, I guess, how early did you start preparing for your university application? Maybe Darren first, since it's like the freshest for you.
Um, well, I was late, I guess, so I wanted to apply to Australia. Like all my life, I thought that I would go to Australia, but then the pandemic and then America released the news. I spent between March. It was like between and March and July. I was contemplating on whether or not I should go to America. And then my parents and I also talked to other people, and they gave me their advice, and I decided to go to America. Um, in terms of that, I did not know how to apply at all. I did not even know where to apply. I don't even understand university websites. They're so complicated. Thank goodness I used All In because they're yeah, no, but really though, I joined All In about late August, and the application deadline was in late October. No, it was early October because I wanted to apply early also.
Whoa.
Yeah, so I had about 3 months, and I also took the ACT in between that period twice because I thought that it would increase my chances. Yeah, it did not. Apparently, you cannot study the ACT in 1 month. You need a lot of time, which is why you should try All In because they also teach you ACT and ACP in case you want. But yeah, um, it was just a very complicated process. 3 months of contemplating how to apply, where to apply, what essay I need to write. I submit one essay and then I get it checked about 6 or 7 times, which means that I send it to All In, and then they give comments and then they send it back, and then we keep doing that 6 times non-stop per university. So
Whoa.
yeah, and I applied to 15 universities. So it was a
That's crazy.
very long process. That's why if I could give advice to everyone, it would be probably start from grade 9 to already start applying, or like use All In, yeah, I guess that's for me. Yeah.
Wow, thank you very much. Oh, but that's crazy. So the total amount of preparation was like 3 months for you,
Yeah.
including the ACT stuff.
Yeah, I also took TOEFL. So that was another one.
Oh wow. Okay. So I guess for those who still have I don't know, like maybe like 5 months left, you better hurry up. And yeah, but not to worry, 3 months is still enough. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, but so start early. Yeah. What about maybe from Kenneth or Scott? We'll go to the NUS in a little while. So
Okay, I
Scott
can go
and
first. Yeah.
yep.
So I also share the same sentiment as Darren. So please apply as fast as you can. As soon as you can, you start thinking of universities because in the long run, it will definitely help you. For myself, I think I like to think that we started pretty early, like my parents and I, we started thinking like since grade 10. And I actually didn't want to study food science at first. Like I was very dead set on studying like economics in grade 10. And also I didn't want to go to the US at the first. Like I was thinking of studying in Asia. So like I was considering Japan, I was considering Singapore as well. So, but then like sometime between grade 11, like in the middle of grade 11, I had this weird epiphany where I had this barista training for a week. And because from then I like drink coffee a lot. And from then I was like, hey, it's not bad. It's pretty fun. So I sort of changed my track completely in the middle of grade 11. So that's pretty late. For those of you who don't know, grade 11, you should already know what you want to study. So I changed like from economics to food science, and that was a huge thing. I had to change my economics class to chemistry. I had to study more biology, and well, it ended up okay. I got into Purdue, so it's still a pretty good university. And yeah, my advice would still be the same as Darren's. Just start as early as you can. Start now if you want.
Start now, guys. Yeah, I see. Okay. Thank you, Kenneth. Scott, would you like to add anything?
Okay, so I think I'm dumb. Like, what is the question again?
The question is how early you should start the application, and what about yourself?
I would say there's no time to be too early to be thinking about your application. um I think there's a point where it's too early to start optimizing for applications though. So I think you should like be somewhat wary that eventually you'll need to apply to universities, and like what universities that you want to apply and what they will require. I think like actually just like going to high school knowing like, okay, if I want to go to the US, or like say I want to go to Singapore, right? Because Singapore is like kind of like like one of the one that have like a very strict and like very obvious like say requirement is like, okay, if I want to go to NUS or NTU, our teachers at Smak Satu already told us that like okay, if you guys want to like go to the schools, you need to have like an 85 average. And like 85 average was like somewhat hard in like Smaksado and all of that. Um and so like yeah, that was like basically like for us like this like the reason why like getting to like these Asian universities are like much more like like much more bearable is because our teachers know like what we should have to be able to go to these universities, and then they told us like oh, this is like what you need like from the very first day you step into high school. So I think like having some context of like what you will need as you enter high school to get to these universities is gonna put you in the right foot really really well. I'm not saying that you should be like kind of like a mindless slave to the college admission process, meaning that I don't think you should be okay, grade 10, I'm gonna sell my soul to optimizing my way to getting into Harvard. I don't think that's like the way to go approach it, right? But like I think like it's definitely a good idea to know, oh, eventually I will need to ask recommendation letters, and therefore I should not piss off the whole teacher, like the teacher, like the whole teacher at my
Oh,
school, like I did. And like or like or like for instance, like like eventually you'll need to get like say you need to get like get like extracurriculars and all of that. So like you want to know like a general idea of like what you will need eventually to go to the universities that you want. So like I would say just like be wary, put it at the back of your mind. Like you don't need to start optimizing for it from grade 10, but like definitely like kind of like you need to know like what they're gonna be like asking you for, right? And there's like kind of like when you're going through high school, think about that. Like oh, when you're like kind of like going through life, just like think about that. But like yeah, um I would say from my personal experience, I didn't do this really well. Like especially for the US part, I know I want to go to like Asian universities. Like I got accepted to Hong Kong U as well. I didn't take it. But like and then so basically you can just like basically just like like I think like for like US, I think like I applied. I took my first SAT. The first time I took my ACT was the last time I could took my ACT. So like I think like essentially that was like my kind of like kind of like the hard part for me was that like I actually have two chances, but like the first ACT is canceled because there's a cheating scandal in Vietnam, and so like I only have one chance. And so like that's like how late I was in the like admission process, because I didn't think of like applying to the United States at all. I think like this is much similar with what Darren is facing as well, like faced as well. But like yeah, I think like I didn't thought of like applying to US as well, and then like that's why I just like oh yeah, like I just like YOLO the admission process. Like I think like in just like I think one semester and all of that. Um, and like yeah, I think like definitely like what I did, and I don't think a lot of people do, is that like okay, I say like instead of just like trying to force myself, like why don't I just like take a gap year, right? Like so like so after like high school, I interned at like a cryptocurrency exchange company, and then like essentially when I was working there, I was like I was literally 2 weeks before I fly for a call for like university, and they give me a full-time job offer, and then just like, hey Scott, why do you bother going to college? Well, you can just like work with us. And like oh shit, I was like sorry, pardon my French, but like I was like actually having that reaction, is that like okay, so I'll just like so like what I decided is just like I took a gap year. And just like the benefit of me having a gap year was that like this time around I have like more time to prepare myself for college and all of that. And this is like especially helpful because I want to try to reapplying again to the US schools and all of that. And so like I got to like kind of like to kill two birds in one stone. First, I saved up money. Like I saved up money to pay for college and all of that, and I got paid decent amount because it was like a Singaporean company. Um, and then like after that, and after that, basically I get to like basically redo the whole admission process, and like kind of like a better mindset of like what I need to do, have better time to like have more time to study for the SATs. And like I get basically just like get much more time than I had before, which I was like super in panic mode. I will only have like 4 or 3 months to do my essays and all of that. And this time around, I have like a full year while I was working where I can just like, okay, take the SATs, take subject tests, and then like, and then like write college essays and all of that. And so, that I think that definitely like kind of like was like somewhat helpful for me as well. To just kind of like also reflect what like what I want to do next in college and all of that. But like, again, like, I have like a very, like, this is like a very shameless plug, but like if like anyone's interested in gap year, I wrote a blog in my blog about the gap year. So like if you are interested, you can find the link in the chat. But like, yeah, I think that's really all. I think it's like definitely like kind of like a weird case because like I took a gap year, which kind of like helps a lot personally. So like that's definitely why, if you have the chance and you know what you want to do in your gap year, I think that it's definitely like one of the things I would consider, especially if you're kind of just realizing you want to go to the United States but you don't have a lot of time.
Yeah, so I think I guess so maybe like don't rush things when it's like when when you really can't. And I guess like a gap year is actually not like, as long as you utilize it properly, it's actually very useful. Since I guess in this like there's some like stigma about gap year, in Indonesia, yes, which is totally untrue as long as you utilize it properly.
Well, yeah, I think like it's definitely like, okay, those bias are not unjustified because like I think a lot of people waste their time in gap years, right? So like, this is like one of the part you need to be super careful about, is that like, before even going to the gap year, you want to have like something that will kind of like occupy your mind for the next of this year. It would let it be like, starting a startup or like, building like, joining a company and all of that. Like you want to have something that disturbs you for the rest of the year that requires your commitment. Because like if not, like, like I think let's take a guess like what people do, right? Like people like, oh yeah, spend their parents' money to go to like say like, travel the world, which is like not a bad thing if you have like kind of a purpose, like you want to go to a meditation retreat in the Himalayas, like nobody's gonna complain. But like you gotta have like kind of like a solid direction, right? The problem is that like, people don't plan their gap year ahead, and so like what they do coming to the gap year, yeah, I don't know what to do, and then they just like spend the whole year like, I don't know, like traveling around, eating good foods, which is not a bad thing. I also ate good food during my gap year, but like, you have like need to have like something that anchors you to like being productive during the gap year, right? Because I think like, as children's, you definitely still like, I think even me, like during my gap year, I still have the temptations for to just like, have fun, like, just like rest. I gotta rest from schooling and all of that. I just want to chill and all of that. But like, the very fact I have like a forcing function that, hey, if I don't show up to work tomorrow, I'm gonna get fired, is like definitely gonna be like kind of like the one of those things that's gonna keep you disciplined, right? Like I think people, it's very easy before the gap year that you're going to say, hey, I'm gonna commit this year to studying the SAT. But when you're actually comes down to it, you're not gonna spend 7 days a week, 24 hours studying for the SAT. And like what you're gonna do if you're only saying you're gonna do studying for the SAT is you're gonna spend 1 hour every week studying for the SAT and the rest of the week playing around. And so like that's definitely kind of like, the reason why I would say like, you need to have like a forcing function, right? To just like make sure you're on the right track. Because like the reasons why school exists, and like why students have like this very, very rigid like, schooling program for like their first 12 year of their life, or like 16 years of their life, is really just to kind of like give them guardrails. And I think this is like what parents like also like comes into play as well, as just providing guardrails for their students. During gap year, these guardrails are off. So like you need to find like something else, like, and so like, for me it was work, but like for some other people it might be say like, volunteering in Africa. One of my friends in college that built a project with me spent his gap year volunteering at a wildlife reserve at Africa. So he was like, okay, helping take care of the elephants and all of that in Africa,
Wow.
or like helping teach people in Africa. So like, this is like one of the like there's many things you can do at a gap year, but you need to have like a forcing function to just like make you do something. Like I'm gonna wake up tomorrow, what I'm gonna do. And so I think that's really kind of like the thing, say, with gap years. It's definitely not for everyone, but if you can pull it off, it's really fun.
Okay, thank you, Scott. See, so that's the experience of a gap year. And again, if you want to read more, you can go check out the blog, which is in the chat box. I guess Drake, the last one. What about you? How is your application process? How early did you start, and what is the ideal for you if you could go back in time and do it again?
For me, if you already know you really want to go to NUS, I think
Study.
the dedication or the effort for you to start to put for NUS, you can start as early as maybe 9 graders or 10 graders. So maybe ideally, if you really want to go to NUS, you may want to consider going to junior college in Singapore. Just from junior college, you will get a higher chance to get into NUS. But from a school like Panabur, maybe using NUS, using national curriculum, you can start as early as 10th graders because you want to focus your study more on the 6 lessons that I mentioned before. You want to keep the scores of those 6 lessons are high enough to be considered to be invited to the test. So yeah, I think that's in my case that's for the uh, for the admission. But for the test itself, I prepared for 8 months uh, studying Singapore A levels on those 3 lessons: the math, physics, and English. Yeah, so yeah, I studied for 8 months since my summer break of my 11th grade.
I
Yeah.
see. So so when they look at your report card, like
Yep.
from what grade do they like check like the grades and all those stuff? From grade 9, is it?
Yeah, for NTU they will check from grade 10 semester, the first semester until the 4th semester in your high school. So grade 10 and grade 11. But NTU will ask less score than compared to NUS. But NUS will ask only your 4th semester in high school. But they
So
will
grade
ask you
10 fourth semester.
no 4th semester. It means your
Oh,
2nd semester in your 11th grade.
oh, I see.
But they will ask you higher, and they will check both of your uh, cognitive and what's the other one? I forgot the name. The practical score, I think. So in your
And
report card, usually you have 2 parts of scores, right? For every lessons you have. So maybe for the cognitive and your practical score. So NUS will check both of it, and they will calculate the average of those 6 lessons. And if you're among those top 300 students who apply for the test, then you will be considered.
I see. I think so. I guess like to summarize, you start studying hard since grade 9, and then you study harder
Yeah,
for
great.
8 months. Okay,
Something
so
along those lines.
yeah, the life of trying to apply to NUS.
Yes, correct.
I
I
see.
need to
Wow.
maintain my score, all of my score, my math, physics, because maybe I didn't study much for Bahasa, so I need to push all my other lessons to be maybe at least 90 or 95.
5.
Yeah.
Wow. Damn, the perseverance though.
Yeah.
Okay. I will move on to the next session, which is the during university for now. Um, maybe like how is university life in general different, like compared to high school? Like how is it different? Maybe Drake, you can go first.
Compared to high school, in university, no one will um, watch around and tell you to study every day. You can do whatever you want in university, and yeah, I think that's the most different part. So it's more of your your willingness to study, and um, maybe uh, there are a lot of opportunities you can take in NUS, and there's so many clubs that you can join maybe to improve your abilities. Maybe for me, I need to improve my um, coding skill, so I joined some of the clubs so that I can create projects and with my teammates so that it will improve my abilities and also my CV. And think other than that, it's mostly the same. They will give you maybe in the mid semester they will test your ability of that module. Then you'll get your result, and they will give you a continuous assessment throughout the semester, and finally they will reveal your score. Yeah, I think that's it.
It's like you're all on your own, basically.
Yeah, your own, all your own. You need to have your own, what is it, motivation to study your major. Yeah.
I see. Do you have anything that you would like to share? I think regarding the like your uni life, how is it? If there's any in your
Yeah, let me check if I have any to mention. Okay, so maybe I can share my screen. Uh, uh, so in the US, at the start of the semester, you will have the chance to bid for modules that you want to take. Then if you got it, then you will get the modules you want to take. And you can take any modules that maybe if you're a computer science student, you want to take, let's say, life science modules. You can take it, but in US there are priority systems that students with degree of Bachelor of Science will be prioritized for those modules. And for my daily activities, um, I joined some CCAs and interest group for sports. So I joined badminton and basketball. So in my free times, I like to spend time to play with my friends and do stuff in my CCAs that I mentioned before. And then, yeah, so since NUS is very big, they have their own internal bus system. So from my dormitory, I just need to take the internal bus to go to my class in the other side of the campus. And they provide us with sport facilities that are very complete. They have swimming pools, three, three swimming pools, and three gymnastics, three gyms, and
wow.
Basketball courts, soccer fields, then badminton courts. They all have it for you, and the canteen is all over the US. They even have 3 libraries, and so for you to study over there, and the library over there is very quiet, so you can be productive over there to study. And the food over there is quite cheap. You need to spend maybe $3 to fill up your belly so that you can study for the rest of the day. And then for the accommodation, here's the room you will get in one of the sample of the room that you will get if you go to if you wanted to stay on campus in NUS. And there are 3 types of housing in NUS. The first is residential college. The second is halls, and the third one is residential. The difference are on the activities. So for the residential college, they will provide you modules, the classes, according to your residential college. And for halls, you need to join CCAs and extracurriculars so that you will be able to get your spot for the next year's next academic year. So and then for the residences, you will basically for all international students, you will be guaranteed 2 year stays in NUS. So if you don't do any activities for 2 years, at least for the first 2 years, you will be staying in the residences. And every residential college will have their own dining hall, and you will need to pay for the breakfast and dinners. They will provide it for you, so you will not be bothered to go supermarket every end of the week to search for breakfast or dinners. And so they will provide for you, but yeah, you have to pay for at least maybe $4.5 for each meal. Yeah, I
So
think
that's like the life in campus.
yes, it's not you can just study 24/7, but I think that's not the point for if you go to top universities for like NUS. You want to um, extend your network to, because when you go to these top universities, there are brilliant minds from around the world, and you want to hear what they think about different kind of ideas to they can implement for in the measure that they're doing. So I think joining the CCAs instead of just studying 24 hours is
worth it.
Worth it. Yeah.
I see. So yeah, I think that applies to all university also. Like you don't want to just study, but learn more from other like people, and creating network is really important.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe Scott, you would like to share some of the things you did in university?
Yeah, for sure. So I would say like I get this is like definitely like one of the things I really just like to point out to people is that like um like your life in your university is gonna be like kind of like a moment where you can start ordering your life, right? So like if everyone's like in high school are essentially just like very doing very similar things, in university you have like much more power and like kind of like spectrum of things you can do, and so like you really just like have this like power to just like really do whatever, right? So like I think a lot of the things you can do is really influenced by two things. The first is the location of the people that surrounds you, and like secondly the location of like your like where you study, right? So for me, like like Yellow Valley College is a really small college, so it's like we don't have like a large student committee and all of that, and so like for me, luckily, I was in the Bay Area, and the Bay Area is like if for like any like computer science students, it's kind of like a dream place to be, because like you have like so many events, like you have like you just like go to like San Francisco and you have like hundreds of meetups every week that you can just come to and all of that, and so it's just like a heaven, like if you're just like you're interested in the technology space. So like I think a lot of the things that I do is just like really just again like going out of like my college campus and like finding cool people out there, and just like going to like this like conferences, going to like like meetups, and like going to like events at UC Berkeley, which is like I think UC Berkeley is just like kind of like a lifesaver for me, being so near to my school, is because like they have like so many events. And Darren, if you're there, just I swear to God, please like just like use like whatever Berkeley has, because like it's just like a really amazing campus to be as well. And like so like being in a proximity of UC Berkeley was like definitely amazing. The food was also amazing there, and so I usually like go out of like my like college city, like which is Pleasant Hill, to go to like say Berkeley, go to SF, or like go to like Mountain View and all of that, which is like again in general like they are very like like very open to just like having people. And so like you can just like just like a student come in, like in general people are very welcoming to students, so you can get into like a lot of these events very easily and get free pizza if you go to the one in Berkeley, because apparently college students like pizza, unsurprisingly. And so like so like I think like one of the things concretely that I've been doing is like I've been joining a lot of hackathons. So like in the US, hackathons are pretty much it's pretty much like everywhere. So like every month there will be like a hackathon nearby, and so like you can just like join there, join like one of these hackathons, and then just say like the cool thing about hackathons is like it like I know like in the Asia like people like to treat hackathons very much as a competition, but like in the US like hackathons really have like a very strong like strong like culture, in the sense like you're trying there to like build cool stuff and like meet cool people. And so like hackathons for me have been like a really amazing kind of like pathways for me to meet a lot of interesting people that have been my closest friends these past few years. And like okay, for instance, in my first hackathon at UC Berkeley, I know I've been mentioning UC Berkeley a lot, but it's like so near to like colleges, so like it's like very much inseparable. It's like in UC Berkeley hackathon, which is called Hacks, I met like one of my close friends from Stanford, which I think we end up like doing a lot of things together, and we built a lot of projects together. And like there's like this other program called Hack Lodge, where basically it's a program in like in the Bay Area, where they gather like a bunch of like undergraduate students to an Airbnb, and like you are able to build your projects, and then they invite speakers from Silicon Valley to come over. So during my batch of Hack Lodge, so you can think of it like more of like a summer program for coders and all of that. So in my batch of Hack Lodge, they invited the co-founder of YouTube, which is Jawed Karim, to just like come over and like spend like I think 3 to 4 days just like hanging out in the house. He's just like typing away in his computer in the kitchen, and you can just like talk to him. And then they bring in also kind of like investors and all of that. So if you guys know Ali Partovi, who is like one of the early investors at Facebook. He was there as well. He's actually the one who sponsors the whole event, the whole space. And then I think there's like a lot of this kind of like very, very similar events as well going on in the US, which you can like try and all of that. And so another thing that is very common, I wouldn't say really very common, but it's like kind of like if you're interested in going to research, there's like things called research workshops. So basically what people do there is like kind of like discuss about their research and all of that. And so one of the things I'm into is is blockchain. And so in Stanford there was like a research workshop, like blockchain research workshop, where they just invite several people to come in. Me and my friends from Hackwatch was invited to that as well. And then we were basically going to that event. So it was like an amazing event in general. Like there's so many cool people. And then they pay for everything, right? They pay for your Uber, they pay for your hotel. I was sleeping in a very, very nice hotel in Palo Alto, and all of them is basically taken care of. And this is the amazing thing, right? Because you get to meet cool people, and then they'll get you to places where you would never thought you would gone before. And I think this is not only about older people, but it's also the people around you. So for instance, I created a project called Dark Forest that ends up raising more than $100,000 from both Mozilla and then Ethereum Foundation. And all of this was just started from that Ethereum research workshop at Stanford, where we but just a bunch of people just met, and then oh yeah, shit, sorry, pardon my French, if there's parents here I'm gonna get scolded, but I think essentially what we were just spending a lot of time together building this project. And then essentially we launched this, and it gained a lot of traction and all of that. And so that is really fun, right? So I think this is just kind of the amazing thing with college in general. You're no longer kind of scope, get tied down into oh, high school, and so you can go out there and kind of explore things. And especially in the Bay Area with the Silicon Valley culture so much, is that they treat people, younger people, with much more respect than they do in Asia. So in Asia, especially in Indonesia, there's this condescending aura of oh yeah, you're just college students, you can't do anything, right? But in Silicon Valley, where there's this so many stories of college dropouts like Zuckerberg and all of that, building cool stuff, people have in general more respect to undergraduates. And then if you're smart, they will be willing to go distance to help you out, introduce you to correct people, and and all of that. And so this is just kind of the beauty as well in being the Bay Area. There's so much this strong culture where people are just very helpful in general. And I think that's really kind of what have been filling my college life in general. It's much less about the school, because to be honest, school for me is kind of okay. It's you just learn stuff, right? You learn whatever you come here for you to learn. You learn about pure science and all of that. But at the end of the day, I feel college is really just a very huge opportunity for you just to go outside of your college campuses and kind of utilize whatever kind of connections that your universities also has, right? For instance, if you're in Berkeley, they're Berkeley have a very strong entrepreneurship ecosystem. So if you want to build a startup, Berkeley have definitely one of the best is one of the best places to start a startup, because again, proximity to Silicon Valley, and a lot of investors are in the ecosystem. There's a lot of very smart students trying to build startups in Berkeley as well. And then this is the kind of things that I think is really kind of much more interesting in my university life. I definitely don't try to intend to spend my college life sitting and in front of a computer doing assignments, homeworks, and all of that, because what's the point, right? Okay, you can get a 4.0 GPA, and even with 4.0 GPS, you can still do all of this, right? You don't need to do 4.0 GPS and sacrifice everything. I have a 4.0 GPA. Everyone have 4.0 GPA, but you can still do a lot of stuff outside of school. And I think that's really what matters, right? I think there's just so many things out there that I think is very worth exploring, especially if you're studying abroad, right? Okay, imagine this, in 4 years, you might need to go back to Indonesia. I don't know, right? I might need to go back to Indonesia after 4 years. It's very hard. It's not going to be often that you have this opportunity to be in this to learn in the United States, or learn in Singapore, or learn in Hong Kong, or learn in whatever. So well, you have the time there, might as well, right? Invest everything you got to just enjoy and soak every single knowledge that is in the ecosystem.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Scott. That was a lot to take in, and you were very fast.
Yeah, sorry.
My head is a little. Yeah, it's okay. I think since we're running low on time, is there any, I guess, like from the four of you, like any last tips, just a short one about like application process and yeah, I guess yeah, about application process since the audience are mostly high school. Just a short one. Maybe Kenneth can go first.
I think a lot's been said in the sharing session before, but just to summarize some few tips is know what you're good at and know what you're interested in. And if it happens to align, then go for it. If not, then keep exploring and find something that does. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe Christian Drake.
From me, I think aim as high as you can, because if you miss your goal, at least you will get a decent university. But if you only aim for a decent university, that if you miss it, then you'll get a not decent university. And start
Okay.
start your journey as soon as possible.
Okay, thank you. Darren?
I guess follow the gut feeling. If there's a voice at the back of your head telling you where to go, what to do, just trust it, because you you do better when you're passionate about something you're inspired to do. So for example, like me, I was inspired to apply to America, even though it was last minute. Passion made me do it in 3 months. Just follow the passion, whatever passion you have. Be yourself. If you're going to America, you're probably going to have interviews. Also be yourself, because usually in the interview process in America, they don't really care about what you've done or how your academics are. They're just there to learn about you, how you grew up, how was your life at school, what do you do in your free time. It's just basically knowing your personality and whether or not you fit in America.
Okay. Thank you, Darren. Lastly, Scott, just like a short, simple one.
Yeah. I think Darren pretty much covered what I have to say. I think I really agree with whatever Darren says. So you can just like listen to whatever he says. I think to just like what I like to just kind of recap it into like one sentence. My biggest tip is to just be human, right? Like don't slave yourself away to the college admission process. Don't let this kind of like destroy what you truly are as a person. Because I think at the end of the day, this is like what is most important. And like if you are able to take out like the most authentic version of yourself, college will come to you, and like you shouldn't be chasing them. I think that's my principles at least.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. I will go back to the PPT just to share a few things for the audiences, the upcoming events. So we have the Passion Explorer, as earlier Kenneth said about if you're not sure, then explore. Then this is the right event for you. We also have the AI-based interest exploration, which is on June and July. It's an offline event, and we have the work experience program also. It's in June and July also. It's an online event. And lastly, to the parents, if you kindly help us by filling up the survey and get a chance to win the prize. It's in the chat box, so please do help us with the survey, since it will help us to make our programs better and how you would like it to be. And lastly, for the next event, is the Exploring Careers as a high school student, which is coming up next right now actually. For the students, please do answer the feedback form in the chat box regarding this alumni showcase program that we just went through. And for the speakers, for the alumni, thank you very much for your time and also for your insights. It's a very enjoyable and also really helpful sharing and insights. So thank you very much. Hope to see you guys again soon in the next program. Thank you all. So I will give it back. I will give it back to Chitra, the host for the next session.
Yep. And then I would like to say congrats for Darren for the acceptance. Lots of offers for you. I guess we'll see Darren in the IG live all in. Yep. I think on Monday. Is it Darren?
Yep.
Yep. Okay. I'll see you then. Thank you, Feli. I'll take over from now.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm going to share my screen. Just give me 1 second. Okay. So, good afternoon. I mean, like it's almost night already. Thank you for staying with us today. And then yeah, today we are celebrating all in anniversary, the 5th year. So we are glad that we can make this event and then sharing a lot of things to you guys. And we've been talking about a lot of things since morning. So from Defi and Valencia, they taught us about how important personal brand is for top university application. And from Sharon and all the students from the student club, they show us real examples how they are currently on progress building their personal brand that they are going to use for exploration to find their interest, their skill, their potential, and also to use it for the university application later on. And also from Felicia and all in alumni, we also heard the strategy that they use and then their experiences, and also how they did build their personal brand previously, and then they use it to successfully accept it to their dream university, all the top university out there. So yes, as you can see, those this is the our 2021 acceptance and scholarship from our students, and we hope some more will come in later on. But yes, our students work so hard in order to get offers from this dream university throughout the our mentoring program. As you can hear, Darren wrote an essay so many times per university, send it back and forth to all in essay editor, and then but yeah, they earn it. But as mentors, we also remind them that they have to think about their dream career as well. So aside from focusing on the university list that they are going to apply, and then where should I apply and everything, but it's really important for them to think about their dream career as well. So, knowing your dream career will help you to direct your exploration. This is why dream career is one of our mission as well. So, we want to make sure that the students know what is their dream career, because it's a good direction for their exploration process. So they aside from knowing what is they interested in, they can decide what major to pursue later on in the university, in order to be able to work in the field that they want to in the future. And then what kind of skill, both soft skill or all the academic skill, that they need to improve throughout the extracurricular activities and their exploration time. So it's really important. So when they are exploring, as we can see, that's one of the pillar that we have, right? So exploration, um, for this exploration, we want to stretch the goal. So it's not only for getting acceptance from university, but also to pursue your dream career, because it will bring a greater benefit. So in order to do so, today we have two experts here. We are going to invite these two professional in their field. We have Jessica later on very soon. Jessica is here already, and she has been working in human resource field for years. So she will show that what kind of aspect that the university will look at. When they are choosing an applicant to be their future employee. So she will share an insight about what the company, the corporate, will look at you as an applicant, what they're expecting, both soft skill and also maybe for certain complicated position from a company point of view. And then later on, after Jessica, we will invite Clarissa as well. She will give you another insight in the professional field, about the idea about applying and working in the startup company, which is actually very popular among you guys, right? Like everyone want to work for a startup company, but then you have to know first it's not as easy as what you think. So they are going to talk about different things from different point of view, but I think it will be a good thing to listen, so it can help you to prepare better as well, manage your expectation. And yeah, let's hear about the profession from the professional directly about what you need to prepare before you decided on your dream career. Where do you want to work for, and then what major that you want to take in order to pursue your dream career. So yes, Jessica, are you here?
Yes, hi.
Halo, apa kabar Jessica?
Sehat,
Good, good
baik-baik.
to hear. Thank you for
Terima
coming
kasih
in.
undangannya.
Iya, sama-sama. So, okay, I'll stop sharing so you can prepare your presentation. But yes, I'm super, super duper happy that Jessica is here. So it's very important to manage your expectation, guys. Like when, we have to, like back then, I didn't really think of what kind of soft skill or academic skill that I have to have in order to pursue my dream career. But then now we have Jessica to share the insight with us. So yes, please go ahead.
Hai, thank you. Ya, selamat sore teman-teman. Sampai bertemu dengan aku gitu ya. Mungkin sebelum aku akan memulai sesi aku untuk menjelaskan tadi seperti yang sudah Citra jelaskan gitu ya, terkait dengan apa sih yang dilihat oleh company saat ini gitu ya untuk para calon karyawannya gitu. Sehingga teman-teman yang ada di sini sudah sedikit mendapatkan tips and triknya nih, apa ya yang harus dipersiapkan. Walaupun mungkin sebagian yang nonton di sini itu teman-teman baru masih student ya, masih di SMA, maybe junior high school gitu. Nah, nggak apa teman-teman, ini adalah perjalanan yang memang perlu teman-teman siapkan gitu. Jadi aku akan share sedikit, tapi sebelumnya perkenalkan dulu teman-teman, aku Jessica. Sekarang aku bekerja di multinational finance company di Toyota Astra Financial Services. Sudah berkarya sejak tahun 2017 sampai sekarang berfokus di human resource teman-teman. Awalnya berkecimpung di rekrutmen, jadi cukup banyak tahu nih apa sih sebenarnya yang disasar oleh perusahaan-perusahaan sekarang gitu ya. Terutama saya berada di sebuah korporat perusahaan yang besar gitu ya, diinduk oleh Toyota and Astra, di mana Toyota besar di Jepang, Astra besar di Indonesia gitu. Lalu sekarang saya sedang menjalani proses di HGBP ya, Human Resource and General Services Business Partner gitu. Jadi bukan hanya rekrutmen saya pegang, tapi seluruh terkait dengan ke-HRD-an itu saya sedang belajar ke arah sana gitu teman-teman. Nah, sebelum memulai sesi ini, kebetulan tadi di awal nih judulnya sudah career coaching ya teman-teman. Sebenarnya bukan coaching, tapi aku mau sharing nih ke teman-teman. Tips and triknya apa gitu ya. Nah, sebelum kita memulainya, maybe aku butuh bantuan nih teman-teman nih untuk aku bisa tahu gambarannya gitu ya. Kira-kira menurut teman-teman yang hadir di sini boleh ikut join ke www.menti.com dengan kodenya 34001231. Boleh join teman-teman. Sedikit share aja nih, kira-kira menurut teman-teman di industri saat ini, di Indonesia maupun multinational company ataupun perusahaan-perusahaan di luar sana gitu ya, sebenarnya seseorang yang seperti apa sih yang company cari teman-teman? Boleh teman-teman coba join, coba masuk, coba share sedikit pemikiran teman-teman nih terkait hal ini gitu. Biar nanti aku bisa membahasnya juga sesuai nih dengan apa yang teman-teman pikirkan gitu. Boleh maybe 2 menit untuk teman-teman bisa ikut berpartisipasi mengisi survei kecil ini teman-teman. Aku sambil melihat di
Bisa
sini.
lewat HP juga ya, kalau misalnya ribet buat ganti-ganti screen, kalian bisa pakai HP-nya juga, tinggal type-in aja www.menti.com, masukin angkanya 34001231. Coba kasih tahu
Yes.
Jessica. Aku juga mau isi ah.
Boleh nih, teman-teman dari All In Edu juga boleh banget buat ikutan kasih insight nih ke aku gitu ya, dari pandangan kaum awam. seperti apa sih? Oke, sudah mulai masuk nih insight-insight dari teman-teman. Let me see first. Oke. Oke, ya. Kita tunggu 1 menit lagi buat teman-teman bisa mengisi. Biar aku bisa coba lihat. Oke. Oke, teman-teman, thank you banget buat masukannya. Aku akan keep jawabannya dulu, teman-teman, biar nanti kita bahasnya lebih menarik nih, teman-teman. Jawabannya sangat menarik. Kayaknya aku nggak perlu cerita kayaknya di sini ya, karena teman-teman sudah tahu semua nih sebenarnya apa sih yang dicari oleh company gitu, teman-teman. Oke, mostly di sini jawabannya yes, teman-teman, benar banget. Kalau perusahaan itu mencari orang-orang yang punya pengalaman before mereka join di perusahaan gitu ya, before mereka join di company, perusahaan juga mencari teman-teman kalian yang aktif, yang punya nilai baik, yang lulusan universitinya oke gitu ya, lalu ikut organisasi atau maybe ikut part-time community gitu ya. Yes, itu adalah hal-hal yang saat ini sedang dicari. Kalau tadi di sesi sebelumnya terkait dengan bagaimana sih bisa join ya di university luar gitu ya. Dan next-nya akan ada juga bagaimana buat masuk nih ke startup company yang sekarang lagi hype banget teman-teman ya. Sikut-sikutan banget nih masuk ke startup company gitu. Tapi apa sebenarnya yang dilihat dari startup company? Sebenarnya teman-teman yang aku jelaskan di sini nanti bukan hanya berlaku untuk korporat saja, tetapi untuk teman-teman yang mau mendaftar di startup atau di perusahaan-perusahaan lainnya, either itu international company gitu ya, ini akan kurang lebih sama teman-teman apa yang dilihat oleh tim dari HR gitu. Nah, aku percaya banget juga bahwa apa sih yang sudah teman-teman selesaikan saat ini gitu ya. Aku yakin banget teman-teman yang di sini semua sudah berusaha keras nih untuk mencapai the best-nya dari teman-teman gitu ya. Baik itu best score di sekolah atau di university. Lalu, yes, buat teman-teman yang lagi ada di senior high school, pasti juga teman-teman yang di sini sedang berusaha banget nih untuk bisa menentukan university mana yang mau disasar, university mana yang mau dituju, pengen banget nih jadi lulusan universitas ini gitu ya. Dengan fakulti pasti juga sesuai dengan passion teman-teman, dan teman-teman sudah tahu nih, next year atau 3-4 tahun ke depan, jurusan ini tuh benar-benar banget dibutuhkan gitu, either itu di Indonesia maupun di luar teman-teman. Nah, selanjutnya, teman-teman juga mungkin sekarang sudah join community ya, community di sini dalam banyak hal teman-teman, baik itu untuk pengembangan soft skill, pengembangan hard skill teman-teman gitu ya, ataupun komunitas-komunitas positif yang saling memotivasi, saling memberikan semangat gitu. Nah, mungkin ini juga hal yang sudah teman-teman lakukan. Dan yang kami lihat saat ini dari perusahaan gitu ya, banyak banget teman-teman yang sudah memulai part-time jobs nih. Dari senior high school gitu. Kalau dulu mungkin zaman-zaman aku dan angkatan-angkatan yang lebih atas, kita baru mulai ini di kuliah teman-teman gitu ya. Di SMA kita
setuju banget.
Yes. Di SMA kita masih ya kayak main-main, sekolah, pulang main-main gitu ya. Nah, tapi sekarang ternyata teman-teman di senior high school sudah mulai meningkatkan kualitas mereka gitu melalui part-time jobs. Tidak ada yang salah teman-teman, part-time jobs mau apapun pekerjaannya itu sangat melatih kemampuan teman-teman gitu. Nah, dari kegiatan-kegiatan positif yang mungkin sudah teman-teman jalankan gitu ya, aku mencoba mengelompokkan ini berdasarkan profil teman-teman nih yang coba aku dapatkan gitu ya, siapa sih yang akan join di acara ini gitu ya. Nah, teman-teman coba deh kita telaah lagi gitu ya. Sebenarnya ke depannya itu dunia industri ini membutuhkan hal yang seperti apa sih? Membutuhkan karyawan-karyawan yang seperti apa sih gitu. Nah, itu yang akan kita bahas nanti ke belakang gitu ya. Nah, namun teman-teman, sebelum masuk kembali ke sesi yang lebih jauh, teman-teman tahu nggak sih, kalau di dunia industri saat ini, itu lagi terjadi banget perang pencarian talent, teman-teman. Gitu ya. Perusahaan di Indonesia maupun di luar sangat banyak. Talent yang mencari pekerjaan juga sangat banyak. Tapi kenapa kok susah banget mencari kerja ya? Kok kenapa ya saya nggak dapat kerja nantinya gitu? Apa sih yang salah dengan diri saya? University udah keren, cum laude, dapat nilai bagus, part time dilakukan, join komunitas oke gitu ya. Tapi apa nih yang kurang teman-teman? Nah, salah satu sebenarnya sudah dibahas di sesi sebelumnya sepertinya ya, terkait dengan personal branding teman-teman. Ini sangat berkaitan banget dengan apa yang dicari oleh perusahaan. Why? Karena segudang pengalaman teman-teman itu tidak berarti kalau teman-teman tidak bisa mengcapture dalam diri teman-teman. Gitu. Itulah yang biasanya menjadi kendala nih buat teman-teman gitu. Dari SMA sudah ikut organisasi, di kuliah ikut organisasi juga gitu ya. Teman-teman sudah berusaha masuk bikin esai panjang lebar buat masuk di university di luar negeri gitu ya. Tapi teman-teman satu hal yang suka teman-teman lupakan, bahwa teman-teman harus bisa loh membranding diri teman-teman. Siapa sih diri teman-teman ini? Jangan sampai pengalaman teman-teman ini tidak bisa tereksplor ke dunia luar. Nah, itu yang sering kali menjadi hambatan nih teman-teman. Seperti itu. Sorry. Nah, untuk personal branding yang harus teman-teman siapkan, ternyata teman-teman itu harus dimulai sejak saat ini. Kenapa? Karena perjalanannya sangat panjang teman-teman. Karakteristik kita itu tidak dibentuk secara instan. Itu membutuhkan waktu. Dan kemampuan kita juga tidak hanya terberi begitu saja, teman-teman. Kita butuh usaha, butuh activity buat bisa mengembangkannya. Nah, di dunia kerja, teman-teman, kita mengenal sekali dari 3 bagian ini. Teman-teman, dimanapun bekerja, pasti akan menggunakan 3 bagian ini. Apa aja 3 bagian ini? Yang pertama adalah knowledge, teman-teman. Kalau yang ini, aku yakin banget teman-teman yang ada di sini, knowledge-nya pasti udah keren-keren banget gitu ya. Sudah bisa ikut community untuk meningkatkan skill teman-teman, aku yakin knowledge-nya sudah tidak diragukan. Lalu yang kedua, teman-teman, itu adalah skill. Ya, selain knowledge-nya, skill-nya juga harus dilatih, teman-teman. Kenapa? Karena kalau teman-teman juga nggak punya skill, cuma punya knowledge-nya aja, gimana nih orang-orang tahu teman-teman punya knowledge itu? Gitu. Karena skill lah yang paling terlihat teman-teman oleh orang lain gitu. Oleh orang-orang yang tidak mengenal teman-teman, kita melihat pertama kali skill-nya. Seperti itu. Nah, yang ketiga adalah attitude teman-teman. Nah, attitude ini yang juga sering kali ternyata terlupakan nih. Merasa, oke, pinter aja cukup. Tapi sekarang teman-teman, itu mungkin zaman dulu sangat berarti ya gitu. Pinter aja cukup kok gitu ya. Harus cum laude, nilainya bagus banget, ya udah pasti dapat kerja. Tapi sekarang tidak seperti itu teman-teman. 3 aspek ini harus saling mendukung satu sama lain. Teman-teman pintar, punya skill, tapi kalau attitude-nya kurang baik, itu juga nggak bisa teman-teman. Jadi ini adalah satu kesatuan yang memang tidak bisa dipisahkan, gitu. Nah, hal inilah yang nantinya akan dilihat nih oleh perusahaan-perusahaan. Perusahaan manapun menggunakan diagram yang sama, teman-teman, gitu ya. kita akan melihat kemampuan teman-teman dari 3 hal ini. Nah, coba kita akan bahas satu persatu terkait teman-teman nih, millennials generation gitu ya. Ini adalah generasi yang paling sulit sekarang dihandle oleh kaum HR gitu ya, dimanapun perusahaannya, karena banyak banget tantangannya untuk menghandle millennials generation ini, teman-teman. Nah, teman-teman masih masuk rasanya ya ke millennials generation ini. Oke, yang pertama, aku akan bahas mengenai knowledge and skill dulu, teman-teman, gitu ya. Nah, sebelum teman-teman belajar lebih jauh terkait knowledge, terkait skill, teman-teman jangan lupa bahwa teman-teman harus tahu dulu nih, apa sih yang mau teman-teman dalami. Biasanya kalau teman-teman di senior high school masih ya ikut alur aja deh gitu ya. Tapi di All in Edu ini, tadi aku sempat lihat diagramnya, kita harus tahu mengenai dream career-nya mau dibawa kemana gitu. Nah, ini adalah satu poin yang sangat baik teman-teman, bahwa dream career ini seringkali tidak tercapture oleh teman-teman gitu. Ya, ikut mama papa deh, yang penting saya sekolah di luar negeri, mama papa senang, ya udah gitu. Nah, tapi teman-teman nggak tahu gitu, nggak suka sama pelajarannya, nggak suka sama kehidupan di university-nya gitu. Itu akan menghambat banget teman-teman. Jadi, please tahu dulu nih teman-teman mau mendalami hal apa gitu. Dari situ teman-teman baru bisa meningkatkan knowledge and skill teman-teman gitu. Aku tidak akan membahas terlalu banyak gitu ya, dari mana aja sih teman-teman bisa mempelajari hal ini, karena ini sudah sangat umum banget bahwa teman-teman di university ikut training, ikut webinar seperti ini, dengan membaca, sekarang googling di mana-mana gitu ya, sangat banget membantu teman-teman nih gitu. Ini adalah hal-hal yang sangat mudah dan aku rasa mungkin teman-teman lebih lihai ya menggunakan teknologi saat ini untuk mendapatkan knowledge dan skill gitu. Nah, teman-teman sebenarnya yang teman-teman butuhkan adalah kemauan gitu. Teman-teman mau nggak mencapai dream career teman-teman gitu. Nah, bagaimana cara mencapai dream career itu? Teman-teman, teman-teman paham dulu nih, untuk mencapai ke sana, saya harus melakukan A, B, C, D, E. Nah, activity itunya nih, yang biasanya dalam diri teman-teman masih belum kebayang, ya, saya harus ngapain sih, gitu ya. Harus buat esai untuk masuk university. Aku harus buat dari mana ya? Pengalaman aja nggak ada di SMA. Gimana mau buat esai teman-teman gitu ya? Atau harus ikut champion-champion yang ada gitu. Tapi teman-teman nggak pernah aktif di SMA, nggak pernah aktif di junior high school gitu. Gimana teman-teman bisa menunjukkan hal itu gitu? Padahal itu adalah part dari knowledge dan skill yang bisa teman-teman dapatkan. Nah, selain itu teman-teman, terkait dengan attitude atau karakter. Nah, sebenarnya kalau terkait dengan attitude ini rasanya teman-teman akan terbentuk ya. Kenapa aku bilang terbentuk? Karena attitude ini nggak instan teman-teman, gitu ya. Attitude ini memang harus terjalin sejak teman-teman menjalani activity one by one, gitu. Attitude ini bukan sesuatu yang instan diberikan, bukan sesuatu yang oke, kamu anak baik ya gitu. Nah, kebaikan itu nggak akan bisa berjalan kalau teman-teman tidak didukung nih activity untuk membuat diri teman-teman adalah seorang yang baik, seperti itu. Makanya untuk membentuk attitude yang baik bagi teman-teman, attitude yang memang dibutuhkan, teman-teman bisa melatih hal itu dengan training, community atau support system. Nah, berkaitan dengan attitude, aku mau memberikan tipsnya sih sebenarnya ya. Sebenarnya saat ini perusahaan itu mencari orang-orangnya seperti apa. Sama kurang lebih dengan apa yang teman-teman sampaikan di Mentimeter tadi gitu ya. Bahwa sekarang perusahaan itu mencari orang-orang yang seperti ini teman-teman. Orang-orang yang aktif, orang-orang yang terbuka terhadap informasi baru, terbuka terhadap masukan-masukan baru gitu ya. Yang kreatif, tahan terhadap tekanan, cepat gitu ya. Nah, teman-teman, membentuk 5 attitude ini itu butuh proses. Teman-teman bisa menjalani proses itu dari kegiatan-kegiatan yang tadi aku infokan. Nah, kenapa sih perusahaan-perusahaan mencari hal ini gitu ya? Terutama mungkin teman-teman yang sangat tertarik di dunia startup, teman-teman. Ini adalah 5 unsur yang memang dicari banget nih sama teman-teman di startup company. Gitu. Teman-teman harus aktif. Kenapa? Karena kita percaya seseorang yang aktif, seseorang itu bisa memberikan masukan-masukan gitu ya, ide-ide. Dia dia nggak takut untuk melakukan kesalahan. Dia berani untuk membuat sebuah gebrakan-gebrakan baru yang mungkin tidak terpikirkan oleh karyawan-karyawan yang sebelumnya gitu. Lalu openness teman-teman. Ini jujur aja, ini adalah attitude yang sulit didapatkan oleh kami tim recruiter gitu. Kenapa? Karena terkadang generasi yang sekarang itu merasa bahwa yes, I'm the best, aku tahu segalanya, gitu ya. Ini pasti benar menurut versi aku gitu. Tapi ternyata teman-teman, openness ini dibutuhkan untuk apa? Untuk bisa menyempurnakan ide teman-teman loh, gitu. Menyempurnakan apa yang teman-teman usung, gebrakan-gebrakan baru, gitu. Nah, inilah yang memang harus dilatih teman-teman dengan apa? Dengan teman-teman berkomunitas, teman-teman aktif di organisasi, gitu. Itu akan sangat melatih loh teman-teman. Kenapa? Karena sejak kita memulai organisasi, itu biasanya mulai terlihat tuh bagaimana kita bisa menempatkan diri kalau ada yang ngasih masukan, bagaimana kita bisa menyampaikan pendapat dengan cara yang sesuai dengan lawan bicara kita, gitu. Nah, itulah yang akan membentuk teman-teman nantinya pada saat mulai memasuki dunia kerja, gitu. Itu akan tercermin banget teman-teman, dan biasanya hal ini akan ditanyakan nih pada saat interview gitu ya. Bagaimana sih teman-teman bisa menghadapi konflik, menghadapi perbedaan pendapat, gitu. Nah, selanjutnya kreatif teman-teman. Kalau ini generasi milenial di mana teman-teman berada sudah nggak diragukan lagi. Idenya sangat luar biasa, idenya banyak gitu ya. Sampai terkadang mungkin kalau teman-teman nanti bekerja di korporat yang punya sistem yang sudah sistematis gitu ya, mungkin level manajerial ini agak kebingungan, kok bisa ya ada ide kayak gini, ini gila banget nih idenya gitu. Masa bisa sih diaplikasiin di perusahaan kita gitu. Tapi mungkin kalau di perusahaan-perusahaan startup teman-teman, kreatif ini udah menjadi sesuatu hal yang biasa. Justru inilah yang harus ditonjolkan oleh teman-teman. Kenapa? Kalau tidak ditonjolkan, teman-teman akan tersingkir gitu. Karena banyak banget teman-teman di luar sana orang-orang yang kreatif, orang-orang yang bisa menunjukkan sesuatu hal yang unik gitu. Uniqueness teman-teman ini dibutuhkan banget loh dalam dunia kerja gitu. Karena kita akan melihat gitu, mungkin nanti ini ada kaitannya ya setelah teman-teman bekerja terkait dengan promotion gitu ya, maybe kenaikan salary gitu ya. Nah, inilah hal-hal yang mungkin perlu teman-teman pertimbangkan juga nih gitu. Kenapa sih saya harus kreatif gitu? Kalau saya nggak kreatif, apa dampaknya buat saya gitu. Nah, lalu yang keempat, pressure resistant. Yes, teman-teman, di dunia kerja, mungkin kalau teman-teman bayangkan dunia kerja kan enak ya, gitu. Kerja nggak ada waktu khusus, gitu. Bisa kapan aja nyelesain kerjaan, gitu. Tapi teman-teman jangan salah. Teman-teman, kalau di sekolah punya guru, punya teacher, gitu ya. Kalau di sini teman-teman punya atasan loh, gitu. Atasan teman-teman inilah yang akan membantu teman-teman untuk bisa mengoptimalkan semua kemampuan teman-teman gitu. Istilahnya sekarang kalau aku joke ya dengan teman-teman baik itu di startup maupun company yang lain, ya kalau masih bisa diperes ya terus diperes deh gitu ya. Nah, tapi itu dalam artian yang positif teman-teman. Gitu, bukan artian yang negatif. Kenapa? Karena itu berarti kita punya kemampuan yang lebih dibanding yang lain gitu. So, atasan kita gitu ya, our leader itu percaya memberikan hal yang lebih agar karena mereka tahu gitu segini nih belum optimal banget nih seorang Jessica bekerja gitu, makanya dikasih lebih. ternyata dengan lebih itu, oh iya ya, aku jadi tahu gitu, batas limit aku tuh di mana sih, gitu. Bisa kreatifnya biasanya lebih muncul gitu ya. Mungkin teman-teman mengalami ini nih, baik di senior high school maupun nanti di university, deadline ya, kalau udah menjelang deadline, biasanya kreativitasnya semakin meningkat nih teman-teman gitu. Nah ini juga akan berlaku kok di dunia kerja. Gitu. Dan yang kelima teman-teman, cepat dan tepat. Yes, persaingan dunia industri tidak bisa menunggu teman-teman gitu. Dimanapun posisi teman-teman ya, baik itu nanti teman-teman akan masuk di engineer, bisnis, art and design, ekonomik gitu. Dimanapun ini dibutuhkan. Kenapa? Karena telat sedikit saja kita akan ketinggalan dari company yang lain gitu. Sehingga seluruh ide dan masukan kita itu dibutuhkan secara cepat dan tepat gitu. Sekarang ini teman-teman berkaitan dengan cepat dan tepat, ini akan sangat terlatih banget kalau teman-teman terbiasa mengikuti maybe part-time job ya, part-time job yang memang akan membiasakan teman-teman untuk bisa take action secara cepat gitu. Karena kalau di perkuliahan, di university rasanya tidak begitu banyak hal ini bisa terekspos gitu, karena teman-teman biasanya ada range waktu dalam mengerjakan tugas gitu ya, dalam mengerjakan soal-soal tes-tes yang diberikan gitu. Nah ini tuh nggak bisa tercapture dengan hal itu gitu. Tapi ini biasanya adalah pertanyaan yang ditanyakan oleh tim di perusahaan-perusahaan gitu. Bagaimana sih teman-teman tanggap terhadap perubahan? Once ada perubahan, apa yang akan dilakukan? Gitu teman-teman. Nah, makanya yang tadi aku bilang bahwa teman-teman ini adalah good start banget untuk teman-teman memulai dari sekarang. Seluruh kegiatan-kegiatan positif gitu. Ikut training, ikut webinar, yes, itu akan sangat menambah knowledge. Dan mungkin dari situ teman-teman akan terbentuk nih karakteristik yang seperti ini gitu. Apalagi teman-teman berkaitan dengan openness. Openness ini berkaitan dengan banyak sekali hal gitu, baik itu di industri atau about people, about community gitu ya, terkait dengan lingkungan nanti teman-teman bekerja gitu ya, culture pekerjaannya, culture perusahaannya. Nah ini yang harus mulai teman-teman biasakan gitu. Makanya kemarin pada saat aku diundang ke sini, aku senang banget memberikan tips and trick ini gitu, karena susah banget nih teman-teman biasanya. Anak-anak sekarang mulainya startnya dari university gitu. Oh, baru sadar nih, oke, mau bekerja. So, aku harus lebih gitu. Tapi ternyata aku menemukan loh orang-orang yang startnya dari senior high school, dari junior high school yang memang sudah membiasakan diri untuk ikut hal-hal baik seperti ini, itu ternyata akan lebih mature ketika bertemu dengan kami, tim dari company gitu. Itu sangat berasa banget teman-teman ketika diajak ngobrol pada saat interview gitu ya. Apalagi interviewnya sampai level direksi gitu. Nah itu akan direksi pun akan sangat merasakan gitu. Oke, this is major one. Ini yang kita cari nih gitu. Seperti itu teman-teman. Nah, selanjutnya teman-teman, kalau tadi aku udah memberikan tips and triknya untuk teman-teman memulai sejak awal banget, sejak saat ini gitu ya, untuk lebih positif. Nah, ini akan berkaitan dengan dream career teman-teman yang tadi sempat aku bahas sedikit-sedikit. Gitu. Berkaitan dengan dream career teman-teman, sekarang teman-teman sudah mulai memasuki fase memilih universitas, memilih fakultas, ikut training-training yang sesuai gitu ya, mencari pengalaman di organisasi luar, atau ikut webinar di banyak hal gitu. Dan teman-teman juga mulai menentukan passion teman-teman mau dibawa kemana gitu ya. Tapi teman-teman, coba deh mulai sekarang juga dilihat nih, company seperti apa sih yang mau teman-teman tuju? Apakah itu perusahaan korporat, perusahaan besar, perusahaan startup, multinational company, international company, atau industrinya mau di mana gitu ya. Oke, aku masuk ke IT, engineer nih, kayaknya bisa masuk kemana-mana deh. Gampang nih cari kerja, apalagi lulusan luar negeri gitu ya. Jangan salah teman-teman. Teman-teman juga harus tahu nih, mau masuk ke perusahaan IT, apakah perusahaan yang bergerak di bidang IT atau perusahaan internasional yang ya IT-nya menjadi part kecil sih, tapi sangat berguna, sangat menjadi major division di sana, gitu ya. Atau perusahaan yang seperti apa? Why teman-teman perlu tahu hal ini gitu? Nah, karena teman-teman ini akan sangat membantu untuk teman-teman menyiapkan diri ke depannya. Ketika teman-teman tahu, oke, saya mau masuk startup, saya mau menjadi digital marketing di sana gitu. Nah, dari situ teman-teman bisa menarik mundur. Oke, kalau aku mau menjadi digital marketing di perusahaan startup, mulai nih searching-searching. Requirement mereka tuh apa sih? Agar teman-teman bisa mulai melatih nih dari kuliah, dari SMA gitu. Oh, mereka butuh portofolio ABCDE. Ya, teman-teman persiapkan itu gitu. Karena nantinya itu akan sangat mempermudah teman-teman untuk bisa mencapai pekerjaan yang teman-teman impikan. Bagaimana culture di sana gitu. Nah, berkaitan dengan culture teman-teman, setiap company punya uniqueness masing-masing terkait culture-nya gitu, dimanapun perusahaannya. Nah, culture inilah yang perlu teman-teman coba ulik nih gitu ya, searching lebih banyak lagi gitu. Karena ini akan berkaitan dengan attitude tadi yang dibutuhkan oleh company gitu. Kalau culture-nya adalah fast, speed, wah teman-teman harus mulai melatih nih kecepatan teman-teman bekerja, kecepatan teman-teman mengambil keputusan gitu. Atau culture-nya yang ya proaktif, care. Oh oke, teman-teman tahu nih. Berarti aku harus melatih sisi itu gitu. Dengan apa? Dengan community, organisasi, kembali lagi gitu. Ke hal-hal yang tadi berulang kali aku bahas gitu. Kegiatannya kurang lebih itu lagi teman-teman. Tapi hal yang bisa dieksplor itu sangat banyak dari situ gitu. Bisa dilihat dari banyak sudut pandang, banyak sisi yang bisa teman-teman ambil. Nah, teman-teman juga perlu tahu nih, orang-orang di dalamnya itu seperti apa, gitu. Apakah orang-orang di sana, oke, orang-orangnya anak-anak muda semua nih, berarti teman-teman akan bersaing dengan generasi teman-teman untuk masuk ke perusahaan situ berarti kan, gitu. Atau, oh ternyata di situ orang-orangnya lebih mature, tapi mencari fresh graduate. Jadi teman-teman mulai bisa nih menyiapkan diri. Oke, nantinya aku akan masuk ke company yang mungkin 80%-nya orang-orang mature gitu. Bagaimana sih aku harus belajar bisa memposisikan diri dengan mereka misalnya seperti itu. Dan yang terakhir teman-teman, ketahuilah dari sekarang apa saja prosedur rekrutmennya. Why? Ini harus teman-teman siapkan gitu. Karena baik pengalaman nih teman-teman sharing ya gitu. Pengen banget nih waktu itu aku masuk ke sebuah perusahaan. Ternyata di salah satu recruitment stage-nya itu ada leaderless group discussion, di mana seorang Jessica pada saat itu belum terbiasa nih untuk bisa menyampaikan pendapat, untuk bisa mengakomodir semua pendapat teman-teman gitu. Nggak terbiasa mendengarkan pendapat orang lain. Nah, itu terhambat banget teman-teman gitu. Nah, aku di sini memberikan tips and trick biar teman-teman tidak mengulang hal yang sama dengan yang aku rasakan gitu. Dengan teman-teman tahu recruitment stage-nya, yes, teman-teman aku rasa bisa well plan banget nih untuk bisa masuk ke company sesuai company-nya sesuai, posisinya sesuai, itu udah sesuatu harapan teman-teman banget pasti ya, gitu. Nah, teman-teman, dari semua yang aku bahas tadi, sebenarnya kunci cuma satu teman-teman, di mana kesuksesan teman-teman nanti itu memang harus teman-teman mulai karena kita mencari orang-orang yang punya courage-nya besar, determination gitu ya, dan jadilah apa seseorang yang memang teman-teman inginkan gitu, dimulai dari saat ini gitu. Itu yang perlu teman-teman tanamkan, start now teman-teman gitu. Jangan sampai teman-teman let's start dan pada akhirnya menyesal karena kalau aku lihat sebagai company person ya teman-teman, 3-4 tahun atau bahkan 8 tahun ke depan, sikut-sikutan di rekrutmen di company itu akan semakin besar lagi gitu. Terlebih seperti teman-teman sekarang gitu, talent-talentnya sangat berkualitas. Jadi kita akan pasti mencari best of the best-nya gitu. Bukan berbicara mengenai dari university apa, berapa grade-nya gitu ya, tapi kita juga mencari teman-teman yang punya personal branding yang sangat besar gitu. Dan inilah hal-hal yang rasanya bisa menunjang nih ke diri teman-teman untuk bisa menyiapkan personal brand yang sangat baik juga gitu. Nah, teman-teman mungkin hanya itu teman-teman sharing dari aku gitu ya. Semoga bisa diterima, bisa memberikan motivate baru nih buat teman-teman untuk start now-nya sangat digemparkan nih gitu.
Thank you, Jess. Ini kalau misalnya ada pertanyaan bisa langsung tulis aja di chat box-nya. Tapi mungkin masih pada pikir-pikir juga karena it's a bit hard ya karena kan they think that it's still far away. Tapi emang kita selalu bilang kayak goal-nya itu di stretch gitu. Jangan cuma untuk menulis application gitu kan. But then you have to think about your dream career. Sebenarnya di luar sana tuh seperti apa gitu. Makanya mungkin it will be less question karena masih bingung banget. Cuma aku ngerti banget nih kan pas lagi kita explore ini, mereka kan banyak ngelakuin berbagai activities, including the one that you suggested gitu, yang kayak ikut community lah, apa yang lain-lain. Nah, kalau misalnya di application itu semua akan terlihat di essay. Jadi kayak nanti mereka akan cerita tentang apa yang mereka dapetin dari activities. Nah, kalau dari Jessica sendiri, pas lagi interview, lihat CV, berarti kayaknya prosesnya kan kayak gitu ya. Nah, untuk dapet yang kayak yang tadi Jess bilang, active, openness, creative, pressure resistance, quick, precise, itu nanti dilihatnya tuh pas kapan sih gitu. Maksudnya mungkin kan interview paling 1-2 kali gitu kan. Mungkin dari cara jawab atau gimana nih triknya?
Oke, kalau dari company itu bisa melihat dari proses interviewnya gitu. Karena kita selalu bertanya nih, apa sih yang sudah dilakukan? Apa nih prestasi terhebat yang pernah kamu capai gitu ya?
Oke.
Atau apa sih apa ya kesedihan nih dalam proses bekerja atau proses kuliah yang paling banget dirasakan gitu. Nah dari itu kita akan lebih mendalami lagi hal-hal yang seperti itu untuk bisa meng-capture 5 hal tadi tuh.
Iya. Ya soalnya sama aja nih kalau misalnya di essay nih kita tuh juga susah karena kita selalu kasih trik di mana kita nggak bisa bilang I'm smart gitu from the beginning from the itu kan sesuatu yang kita nggak mau hard sell gitu, we want to soft sell, makanya kan kita selalu bilang kayak iya nih pas lagi mungkin ikut klub apa terus ada misalnya klubnya harus yang offline presence gitu terus tiba-tiba sekarang pandemic and everything terus kayak mereka mungkin ganti caranya apa. Nah di saat mereka kasih tahu kayak gitu mereka bisa kasih tahu bahwa kita tuh solutif loh kayak gitu. Nah kalau di interview itu misalnya pertanyaan-pertanyaan apa sih kayak sample question yang biasa ini Jessica banget nih tiap kali interview pasti akan tanyain gitu. Ada nggak sih kayak pasti pengen dilihat nih dari orang?
Oke, biasanya aku akan mencari sebuah uniqueness dari dia, kegiatan apa yang menurut dia itu paling oke banget. Dia tuh paling
dari CV nih, dari CV dibaca dulu terus kayak ini ada yang aneh nih dari orang ini kayak activities yang beda gitu berarti kan?
Iya, yang beda, yang unik, yang kayaknya dia senang banget nih di sini gitu. Nah, dari hal itu biasanya aku selalu nanya nih, dari prestasi ini gitu ya, atau organization, atau community yang sangat dia senangi, biasanya kita selalu bertanya, apa sih yang sudah kamu lakukan?
Kontribusinya apa nih untuk tempat ini gitu. Makanya matter banget kayak kita kalau di CV kan kita tulis ya tahun berapa sampai berapa. Kita pengen tahu 4 tahun misalnya 5 tahun kerja di tempat ini ngapain gitu. Kerja aja atau memang ada kontribusi sesuatu. Jadi dari situ ya kelihatannya.
Yes, bener banget. Gitu. Jadi kurang lebih mirip lah sama yang esai yang dibuat oleh mereka ya gitu.
Iya, oke. Dan kalau misalnya nih, ya kan misalnya ada banyak-banyak pertanyaan nih gitu. Sebenarnya kita tuh perlu siap-siap nggak sih di rumah gitu menurut Jessica? Kalau kita mau berangkat interview nih, kan sebenarnya semuanya udah di kepala ya, karena kan itu sesuatu yang kita udah kerjain gitu sebelumnya. Tapi apa ya nih yang mesti di prepare biasanya? Ada tips nggak sih gitu? atau ya kayak misalnya gini nih, orang sekarang bilang, sekarang CV tuh nggak usah di-print, orang tuh udah lihatnya lewat LinkedIn, misalnya kayak gitu. Nah, tapi kalau misalnya zaman aku nih cari kerja, regardless gimana pun, aku akan selalu bawa CV gitu. And then I always have my own gitu kan. Nah, itu kan sesuatu yang very old mungkin. Tapi aku nggak tahu sih, maksudnya di zaman sekarang tuh untuk di millennials ini apa sih ekspektasinya gitu dari seorang HR?
Oke, bener banget nih tadi yang dibilang bahwa dari LinkedIn, sekarang LinkedIn itu adalah pintu garda terdepannya teman-teman HR nih untuk mencari orang-orang yang berkualitas gitu. Kalau dulu mungkin si interviewee yang harus mencari ke perusahaan one by one, datang one by one gitu. Sekarang seringkali kita yang jemput bola. Kita yang mencari calon karyawan di perusahaan kita.
Benar-benar.
Gitu. Jadi berulang teman-teman yang punya profil sangat baik gitu ya di LinkedIn, punya banyak activity, community gitu ya, punya pengalaman yang unik-unik, itu pasti banget akan dilirik sama tim HR.
Higher exposure juga ya, higher chance buat kayak ditanyain lebih lanjut lah, at least kayak good chance untuk dapat ya, at least buka pembicaraan dulu gitu ya untuk penawaran.
Iya, benar banget. Kalau dulu kan kita selalu berusaha searching one by one company mana nih yang buka lowongan gitu ya. Sekarang company lebih mau untuk mencari. Kenapa? Karena dengan mencari itu kita bisa mendapatkan orang yang kita rasa sudah sesuai nih. One step lebih maju gitu. Dibanding kita harus mensortir CV yang banyak, melihat one by one gitu. Kita harus cek kembali apakah sesuai dengan company atau enggak, seperti itu. Jadi kayak ya mempersingkat lah efisiensi dari perusahaan itu sendiri.
Oke, kalau gitu noted. Oke, mungkin dari Jess segitu dulu, tapi Jess stay dulu just in case ada pertanyaan. Jadi ya kesimpulannya sih menurut aku tetap ya kita kan mau start early, baik itu untuk application dan sebenarnya itu nilai plus juga in the future when you have your LinkedIn udah lihat aktif banget dari dulu, dan mungkin kan dengan start lebih awal lebih banyak kegiatan juga, jadi banyak yang bisa diceritain, jadi contoh pas interview nantinya, apalagi kalau pas di umur yang muda gitu kan. Nah, itu tuh insight tentang ini ya, misalnya HR life-nya Jess nih ceritanya kan gitu. Nah, kita punya narasumber satu lagi. We have another panelist. Is Clarissa here? Ready? I guess she's here already. I think I saw her name.
Hello.
Hi,
yes.
Clarissa.
I'm actually here, but I think I was unable to unmute by myself.
I see. Okay, sorry for that. Yeah, because
no worries.
Everyone is here. Better to just like mute it first. But then, sorry for the problem.
No worries.
Okay. Yeah, Clarissa, thank you, and so happy to have you here. Tadi Jessica juga udah banyak ngobrol soal ya ini ya lebih tentang insight lah, apa yang mesti perhatiin gitu ya dari personal brand, apa itu sebenarnya cuma sebatas applying to top universities atau is it gonna be useful for employability chance juga gitu nantinya in the future gitu. Tapi Clarissa mungkin di sini akan kasih a different point of view gitu ya, since you're from Alpha Hub ya. Jadi nanti anak-anak mungkin di sini masih banyak yang nggak tahu juga itu apa sih, kerjanya apa sih. Jadi mungkin Clarissa bisa share juga gitu ya sebenarnya daily life-nya seperti apa, company ini sebenarnya objektifnya apa, dan kayak apa sih yang bisa insight-nya tuh untuk kerja-kerja di startup. Nah, everyone is aiming for startup company now, especially after the Korean series. So I think you better to clarify that it's not as easy as they thought, I bet, but it's gonna be exciting, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I'll post time to you.
Right. Yeah. So thank you so much, All In Edu team, for the really grateful for the chances. By the way, just clarifying, Flavia. If I ask like the other participant to turn on their video, would it be possible? So
yeah, I think so. I hope they don't mind, but then I don't know. Some people.
Yeah. Mungkin
like
yang for you guys who are in apa namanya proper situation and do not mind to turn on your video would be really appreciated. So then I can see the faces. Hi.
That's our future investor. So no, yes, yeah. I guess he's just being shy, but he's really good, and that's why he's here for Alpha Hub.
Okay. Yeah, and if I may know, not really each of you, but perhaps like who is I believe the participant are all in alumni, right?
And there are others as well because we are open for public who wants to wants
Okay.
to strategize. So, but all in alumni is here, and then
Mm-hmm.
yeah, our mentees is here as well. So basically, everyone is here.
Okay, okay. And speaking of employability, so just for a context for me as well, like who is the most senior in terms of your study year at uni, and who is like the most junior, perhaps if any of you yang masih di high school, just wanted to know that.
Yeah, who's still in high school? You can raise your hand. High schoolers. I know Felicia is high school there. Felicia is in uni,
Okay.
and yeah, I think this is much. I think Timothy is in high school. Raisa just
Mm-hmm. Any final year student?
any final year, guys? No, I don't think so.
Okay, 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 sure, yeah. So just to make sure, I'm not gonna talk about something too heavy. Yeah, right. If I may start with a bit introduction from my side and also about the company where I am working right now. Again, thank you so much, team, for the chances. As it's been introduced, namaku Clarissa, and then not so much gap in terms of age. We're actually pretty much still in the same generation. So I was born 1996. I'll be 25 this year, and yeah, happy to share about things that I personally really love to talk about.
Clarissa is having a internet problem. Just give her a second. Clarissa, you there? Okay, just give her a minute, guys. I'm going to contact her. Hopefully there is nothing wrong. Okay.
Yeah, I'm back. So
Oh,
sorry,
you're
guys.
back. Yes.
Yeah. Right. I hope the connection bear with me for the next few hours.
It
Yeah.
should be
Right.
fine.
Yeah. So if I can start share my screen. 1 second. Okay. I hope you guys can see it now.
Yep, we can see it.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. So back again to the introduction. My name is Clarissa, and then I'm gonna be 25 old this year. But I just started work in this VC space or in this startup space for about 3 years ago. But it's been a very amazing ride, and it's been a very fantastic learning for me personally. If I have to choose basically like the career path for myself, at least I can see where I want to be in the long term. And just to set a bit context for everyone as well, what will be at least the key takeaway for our discussion today. I think when I have this discussion with the team about this career coaching is basically more into experience sharing based on what I have observed. But at least from there, teman-teman di sini jadi bisa punya gambaran in terms of what are actually the career opportunities you could have out there when the time has come. And by knowing it much more earlier, I hope you can make your decision earlier juga gitu kan. Jessica has delivered a very great point kayak we all need to start figuring out what is actually our dream career, right? But the next question is also how do we know which one is our dream career? So I hope I can be helpful on that part buat kasih gambaran in more detail what roles are actually consist in a startup company other than Han Ji Pyong gitu kan, like yeah. So a bit introduction. Can I? Okay, I guess I should open it. 1 second, yeah.
Yeah, take your time. Everyone is aiming to be the CEO of a startup company, actually. I bet.
Okay, yeah. So just to make the discussion more make sense gitu kan. So Alpha Hub itu sebenarnya is a community of Alpha JWC Ventures. Jadi it's not a firm, it's not a business. The business or the firm is actually Alpha JWC Ventures itself. Nah, before I'm talking about what Alpha JWC does, I want to share a bit in general. Venture capital itu apa sih? What is actually a VC firm gitu kan? The easiest way to imagine about it, kalau buat yang nonton seriesnya Startup in Netflix pasti udah tahu gitu ya. It's a company that basically investing in someone else business. But of course it's not that simple karena untuk make that investment decision, investing kan basically we allocate or we put our money in someone else business, right? Which means the business that we will invest on has to be a business that is promising in terms of the returnnya, in terms of the profitability-nya, and to be able to figure out that we do basically a certain analysis gitu. Jadi if I can pick up an example gitu ya, let's imagine Tokopedia atau mungkin Gojek 10 years ago when it's not yet as big as today gitu kan. Waktu pertama kali kita let's imagine Nadiem Makarim mau bikin sebuah platform di mana orang bisa pesan Gojek lewat aplikasi gitu. I believe the very first question atau mungkin some of the job at the time itu would it be make sense orang pesen transportasi dari orang yang kita nggak kenal gitu ya, and then would it be something that big enough that make money for the company? Karena we have to share the revenue with the drivers, and then creating that technology platform definitely is not a cheap investment, it's a very big investment gitu kan. Nah, tapi that's what actually called innovation, right? If that's something that is predictable resultnya, if that's something yang gampang ketebak bakal sukses atau enggak, and then Jeff Bezos said it is not an invention, it's not an innovation gitu. Why is it called it's an innovation? Karena there is a chances of success and fail gitu. Nah, jadi in general VC itu the main business activities adalah kita looking for potential company, we call it potential karena biasanya pada saat this potential company atau foundernya datang ke kita, propose asking for an investment, the company is still in the earlier stage of their business. Produknya mungkin belum jadi, masih dalam bentuk ide, tapi what they actually sell to investor, what they sell is vision kan. Kalau ini jadi, if this is going big, misalkan like Gojek and Tokopedia, this business will be impactful for millions people's life in Indonesia gitu. There will be an economic value yang created from that business activities misalnya. Nah, so in short, VC business is about investing in a potential business or potential idea of a founder. And to be able making that investment decision, we are analyzing a lot of data for us to be able to at least predict this is a business model that's going to be killing market in the future gitu ya. Nah, and of course in the VC firm itself, typically VC firm itu orangnya sedikit gitu. Jadi unlike corporate yang mungkin consist of hundreds or thousands of people, of employees, in Alpha itself we are consist only from less than 30 people gitu. Ada orang-orang yang kayak Han Ji Pyong, kayak Mr. Park-nya gitu ya, yang create the analysis terus Han Ji Pyong-nya tinggal make decision yes or no gitu kan. Nah, sama kita di situ sebutnya di company kita sebutnya ada investment analyst-nya yang analysis all the business model, bandingin udah ada belum sih company yang mau bikin something kayak Gojek atau kayak Grab gini gitu kan. And then how they gonna make money and everything. Terus ada kita sebutnya partners yang kayak Han Ji Pyong-nya gitu. Basically they are the one who own the fund or the money, and then they will be the one that make decision. Nah, kenapa mereka bisa bisa make decision based on what is proposed by the analyst, karena biasanya partner-partner di VC firm ini previously they are an entrepreneur gitu. Mereka sendiri orang yang udah pernah jalanin bisnis in the past, terus juga most of them are very very experienced people in the industry gitu, yang memang punya specific knowledge about the industry. Nah, and then next questions adalah what does a venture capitalist do? Which what I have mentioned earlier gitu kan. After we put money in a company, it's not the end of the job, but actually it's just the beginning of the job. Kenapa? Karena when we do investment, we also eventually will need to do what is it called as portfolio management. Portfolio management artinya we want to ensure that company where we have put our money will be succeed gitu kan. Dan untuk membantu company-company yang kita sudah invest untuk bisa sukses, of course, we need to work together with them. We become the thinking partner for the founder untuk create about the business strategy, about helping them to solve problem juga, especially going through critical time kayak awal-awal pandemi ketika krisis terjadi gitu ya, karena dalam bisnis itu banyak sekali keputusan yang harus dibuat terkait pengalokasian modal, terus juga terkait apa yang mau menjadi prioritas sebuah perusahaan, apakah mereka mau fokus di promosi, fokus di marketing, atau mereka mau fokus di misalkan develop produk baru gitu. Nothing is right or wrong.
And yeah, so some of them are really interested in these kind of topics, like maybe because they have to recruit people as well, right? In fact, actually this afternoon, they're actually open for recruitment for their club. So this is really a good insight, and we're actually saving it to our YouTube as well, because some students can join in, but then they are going to be able to access the YouTube video. So yeah, they want to know what the company expectation to the like if the potential applicant, and also about some of them are really interested in investing and saham juga, kayak banyak yang startup. Jadi and some of them are planning to be like a future entrepreneur juga. Jadi makanya kayak gini-gini mungkin it's gonna give them a good insight buat kayak kasih big picture-nya lah gitu, nanti ke depannya tuh sebenarnya seperti apa gitu. Okay. I guess slowly everyone coming back. I'm so sorry, guys. I don't know, there's something wrong with that, but okay, Clarissa is here and everything's good. Okay, you may continue. Sorry, Clarissa, for the trouble.
Okay, no worries, no worries. Yeah, so just to cut it short, right? I believe I have shared to everyone that in general, VC is really about investing in ideas, right? Disrupting ideas, because by the time we are making our decision to invest, there is not much things we can see yet about the company unless then its potential, right? And to be able to do that, basically being an investor means that we are a bit risk taker, but the analysis itself meant to help us to have a calculated risk in making our investment decision, right? So continuing from there, this is from my personal observation, guys. Jadi kalau di Indonesia itu VC itself it's still a relatively new industry gitu, karena kalau kita flashback to 5 years ago mungkin belum banyak, right? Alpha itself was just started at 2015, so we are just about 6 years. Nah, tapi growth-nya growth-nya VC atau venture capital industry itu is pretty much influenced by the success of startup industry in Indonesia gitu. Jadi the more startup companies are getting success, the more people or businessmen are actually more interested to invest gitu kan. Just this is a very simple logic. Nah, bedanya di Indonesia ini there are a few types of VC firm. And Alpha itself is actually an independent institutionalized VC. What does it mean? Artinya Kita as an independent entity, we are not affiliated to any other groups or any other holding companies. So by that, we can make our investment decision as neutral as possible. Jadi kalau teman-teman lihat di sini kan portofolionya Alpha, portofolio itu maksudnya company yang Alpha udah invest di situ gitu ya. It's a quite various in terms of business sector, atau we love to call ourselves as a sector agnostic investor gitu. Jadi kita not necessary fokus only in certain sektor, tapi kita memang liatin semua sektor, what is arising in each of the sector gitu. Kita punya fintech, kita punya direct to consumer platform, kita punya enterprise solution. Enterprise solution ini is more common called as B2B gitu ya. And recently we also have a few emerging F&B tech companies gitu, F&B tech companies, meaning although the product it's not like the other platform gitu ya, produknya tetap F&B, tapi there is a technology aspect in running the business itself. Nah, the other types of VC itu ada juga yang mereka itu part of another institution gitu. Jadi misalnya if I may pick an example, kayak Bank Mandiri, mereka punya Mandiri Ventures gitu kan, and then like Telkom, mereka juga punya MDI. Nah, so in that case biasanya there is some strategic consideration in making the investment decision. Of course, untuk empower the existing business entity within their ecosystem gitu kan. Misalkan kalau bisnis holdingnya itu telco atau telecommunication, apa sih yang akan menguntungkan buat mereka gitu dari sisi bisnisnya mereka gitu. Nah, so it's just a bit apa namanya knowledge on types of VC gitu ya. Nah, where Alpha position ourselves among all the players in Indonesia, we are actually early stage investor, early to growth stage. What does it mean by early stage investor? For everyone who loves to following up updates about fundraising news gitu ya, misalnya Gojek just close a funding of series C gitu, atau ada company yang dapat pendanaan seri B, seri C, seri D gitu. Nah, every series of funding itu is actually happen for a different purpose and for a different business objective juga. Jadi misalnya pada saat pendanaan seri A, biasanya company akan fundraise ketika mereka mau launch their new product gitu. Jadi dana yang mereka dapetin itu eventually akan digunakan untuk bantu mereka get this product launch to the market and acquire their first time user gitu. Nah, while dari seri A ke seri B, it's supposed to be produk yang mereka bikin ini, yang mereka launch itu udah bisa dapat traction yang konsisten in the market. Traction means user. Nah, once they already know which type of user that actually is their user, atau segmen usernya produk ini tuh yang mana sih? Of course, company wants to scale up, right? They want to acquire even a bigger number of user, and it takes another capital to do that. Nah, by the time mereka akan fundraise for the next stage gitu. Tapi untuk mereka bisa fundraise the next stage pun, kita dari investor juga punya requirements. We want to see growth in your business. Misalnya, 3 times growth in your user, atau 3 times growth in revenue. Nah, jadi every stage of funding itu ada minimum threshold-nya gitu kita sebutnya. Nah, just a bit introduction on some of our portfolio company. Mungkin kalau teman-teman ada yang pernah pakai atau pernah cobain produknya, of course I would love to hear your feedback gitu ya later on. Nah, and I'm not gonna go detail on this one by one because I believe we have limited time. So we'll just go next. Speaking about opportunity itself, right? Jadi kalau buat teman-teman yang saat ini lagi di tahap exploring about your career path in the future atau lagi considering, I believe every decision making itu has to be contextual. Artinya for you who decide eventually untuk work in a startup, it can be as simple as kayaknya menarik ya kerja di startup gitu, pakai bajunya bebas gitu kan, terus kayaknya temannya keren-keren, masih muda, seumuran gitu, and then the company advertising is everywhere. It's all what looks at the surface gitu kan, tapi you better know the consideration has to be much more than what is at the surface gitu. Tapi what does it mean for you if you join at that company? Nah, perlu teman-teman ketahui di sini bahwa startup itu ada fase-fasenya sebagai company atau as a business gitu ya. Sorry. Nah, dan ketika teman-teman join startup di stage yang berbeda, implikasinya apa sih? You might face a different dynamics as the employee of the company juga, gitu ya. Contoh misalnya, if I can be more clear. Jadi startup itu kan, if I can categorize in a three stages. The first stage itu tahap formation, stage of formation, di mana as a founder mereka tuh baru define what is actually problem yang mereka mau solve dengan produknya mereka atau dengan service yang mereka mau buat ini gitu. Misalnya kayak ambil contoh kalau di Alpha kan ada Ajaib gitu ya. Foundernya Ajaib bikin Ajaib ini mau apa sih problem yang mereka mau solve gitu ya. What the founder see is that how important for us, this young generation, untuk mulai mikirin the long term financial stability, ya kan? Especially with what happened recently COVID, and then banyak orang mungkin kehilangan pekerjaan, like macroeconomic can be very, very unpredictable. And for that, it's very important for one individual to have their financial security. Salah satunya bisa dicapai dengan investasi gitu. When you buy stocks, atau when you buy a mutual fund, reksadana, you actually save more and gain more in the future. You are likely to gain more rather than simply put your money in saving gitu kan. Nah, tapi untuk bisa melakukan itu, untuk bisa istilahnya get people to do that, to have that behavior, itu kan perlu education, right? We have to educate the consumer, and then the vision of the company is very simple, is to make investment easy. Nah, karena mungkin investment itu kan nggak awam gitu ya buat generasi muda. Istilah-istilah stok yang susah dipelajarin, terus caranya gimana, which stocks to buy gitu. Itu mungkin is not things that is not everyone loves to learn about gitu. Nah, tapi the founder have a vision untuk make all these things more simple and easier so that everyone can do their own investment. Nah, makanya dibuatlah produknya Ajaib gitu. Jadi formation stage itu tahap di mana company is basically deciding their focus, area of focus. Okay, as a company, I want to be in this financial services industry, and specifically the problem that I want to solve is investment. Karena financial services itu ada banyak kan. Banyak company yang melakukan pemberian pinjaman untuk SME misalnya, itu berarti you are on the lending side of the business. Ada juga investment gitu. Jadi it's about thinking which problem you want to solve and what is the solution. Nah, di tahap itu it is also very likely bahwa as a founder akan memvalidate banyak hypothesis gitu. Nah, biasanya at this stage size company-nya tuh masih kecil banget gitu. Mungkin consist of less than 10 people. The co-founder itu orang-orang yang biasanya sudah pernah kerja bareng si founder atau teman dekatnya yang memang sharing same concern about same problem, about same vision gitu. Jadi yang bisa ngelihat hal yang sama. Nah, and then once they go to validation stage, they are testing their assumption. Testing their assumption ini maksudnya apa sih? Mulailah mereka bikin produk gitu kan. Mereka hire engineer, mereka hire product manager. Oke, I'm thinking that I can help people to have a better financial security if we have this kind of product in the market, which is an online investment platform. Let's make it, gitu kan. Nah, and of course to make that, a company needs capital, and usually that's the time they came to investor for our fundraising, gitu. Nah, that's called validation stage, whereby they create products and they start launch it in the market. They start introducing to the market, gitu kan. Hey, we create this product. Produk begini yang begitu, basically that describing about their target market gitu kan, and see if people are responding gitu. Jadi misalnya biasanya in the certain period gitu ya, bulan pertama atau 3 bulan pertama company akan ngelihat setelah marketing campaign yang mereka lakukan, are they start see people downloading their apps, are they start see people using their platform, even after people download, if people not using it, it doesn't mean things are going well gitu, karena of course we expect people to be loyal with our products kan gitu. Nah jadi they start doing that marketing campaign untuk acquire user, untuk kemudian melihat seberapa konsisten the traction is in the market gitu. Nah, at this stage, again, a lot of exploration are still be done by the company. Nah, so that's why kadang in case any of you ada yang pernah dengar gitu ya, kalau kerja di startup company itu kok perubahannya cepet banget sih, directionnya sering berubah, terus it seems company doesn't have the clear direction or the clear focus gitu. It's not that way, tapi memang you have to understand in which stage your company is gitu. So by then you can understand it gitu, why such things happen. Nah, and then the later stage yang in a more mature stage company itu where they are in the growth stage. Nah, ini di mana company itu sudah menemukan what is it called as a product market fit. Nah, jadi kalau di startup ecosystem itu ada satu milestone yang kita sebut product market fit, di mana company mulai melihat a consistent pattern. Oke, dari semua fiturnya, misalnya ya, dari semua fiturnya ajaib, ini loh yang user paling suka pakai. They usually invest at this amount, or they usually will do trading when the stocks price are going down, and then this is like the period where people trade more than the other days gitu. Nah, jadi company start seeing pattern that makes them more in control juga towards their direction. Nah, and at this stage again, as company wants to go bigger, among all things yang measurable in a business, they need to pick what is the key focus of the business metrics. Ada yang kita sebut sebagai North Star Metrics. North Star Metrics itu basically one single metrics that tell that your company are delivering their value, their products value, and also the company are doing well gitu. Jadi mungkin it's not really about revenue gitu ya. It's not really about user. It's not really about number of download. Tapi misalnya retention rate. Dari berapa banyak orang yang download, berapa persen dari mereka yang still using our app after 1 month atau after a quarter gitu. Nah, so at that stage barulah company punya waktu untuk do a lot of process improvement dari sisi produknya, dari sisi rekrutmen prosesnya. Mereka mulai hire senior people, mereka mulai structure the organization, mulai lebih jelas who should report to whom, and then they start evaluating the employees' performance gitu ya. Mungkin kalau awal-awal it's not that they are not thinking about it, tapi they don't even have bandwidth to do it gitu. Nah, tapi at the more mature stage they start aiming to have a better direction as a whole organization gitu. Nah, so what I want to say by sharing this to you guys adalah later on teman-teman explore your opportunity at a startup company, and then you hear that you have to be adaptive, you have to be able to make decision at a such fast-paced environment. This is why, gitu. I'm telling you this is why. Karena company punya different priority at different stage as a business. Nah, so tapi at the end gitu ya, what we care the most as a talent itu kan our own career growth gitu kan. As much as we want to care about the company growth, we also want to think about ourselves. Nah, so at the end sebetulnya in my personal opinion gitu ya, a great career opportunity is when your objective, when your career goal meets with the company objective gitu. Jadi ketika apa yang mau dilakukan company at the same time also something that excite you, that challenge you, that requires you to learn a lot to be able to deliver a real value atau to contribute to the company gitu. Karena a lot of time when talents are not satisfied enough with their career, itu mungkin salah satunya karena apa yang company lakukan is no longer challenging untuk dia gitu, atau apa yang company harapkan it's not what he feels like he can contribute best. Nah, so it's a bit introduction on the company side. Now we go deeper on the role side gitu ya. After this all that we talk, so kalau di company itu kan intinya ada as an organization itu intinya in startup, right? Ada 3 pilar gitu. We're talking about the technology and the product. These all technical guys that create the technology through such a technical process. Di dalamnya itu ada macam-macam role, ada software engineers, ada product manager, ada product designer. Basically the end resultnya from these people adalah when a product can be delivered, can be launched in the market, and can be used by the targeted user gitu. Jadi kalau kita pick up an example kayak misalnya kayak kita ngomongin GoFood gitu ya. Nah, the product person of the company is eventually kan thinking about gimana dari sisi food merchants mereka bisa upload menunya mereka, and then dari sisi the back end side of the product, people can do payment after they are ordering their food, and then customer can choose which one they want to order. Nah, itu semua dipikirin sama orang produk in a product roadmap. We call it a product roadmap. And then yang technically create the product itself, teman-teman kita dari engineer, by the programming language, by the coding, which technology they should use untuk bisa accommodate misalkan 100 order per hari atau 1000 order per hari gitu. Which is very interesting for a lot of our friends from computer science gitu ya, and the other computer science, tapi mungkin yang memang masih relevan buat ke engineer. Nah, and then after the product is here, as much as you have a great product as a company, of course, company needs to make the revenue kan, needs to make money, and that's where the business strategy team are helping. Nah, business strategy team ini, the main idea of their role adalah untuk generate demand gitu, so that eventually company generate revenue. And also thinking about the long term of the company's financial sustainability. Kapan sih company harus fundraising lagi? Berapa sih modal yang dibutuhin company untuk membiayai 1 bulan business operationsnya mereka gitu. Nah, translate into couples of roles within business team. Of course, on the commercial side itu ada marketing. Marketing ada banyak lagi turunannya. Ada digital marketing, ada marketing partnership, ada performance marketing yang very tools driven. Misalkan knowing kayak kalau company mau do advertising with their product, itu di channel mana mereka harus taruh advertising mereka. Is it in social media? Is it in other platforms gitu ya. Terus growth. Growth is a very broad role if I can say. Tapi the main idea adalah thinking about what else company can do untuk drive the overall performance as a business gitu. And then biasanya yang more entry level tuh ada business analyst. Business analyst is also thinking about the process improvement in a company. And then later on, yang in a more senior role itu ada yang kita sebut corporate finance and investor relation. This is the strategic guy gitu ya behind company financial management. Nah, and then ada support role on the organization management side is basically people who do capacity planning dengan apa yang mau dikerjakan oleh sebuah perusahaan itu akan ditranslate ke dalam bentuk kebutuhan. Berapa banyak orang yang mereka butuhkan, how many manpowers they need, and then how to get that manpowers gitu ya. We talk about recruitment. And to be able to attract talent, you need to do employer branding, you need to deliver the right value proposition of your company, and also thinking about organization stability. Once you hire talent, you need to nurture them, right? You need to think about what will be this employee next challenge, how to retain them to stay with your company, which means we have to reward them. We also have to think about their career development, about the promotion. Tapi we also have to be clear enough with the promotion requirements. Nah, itu semua dipikirin sama teman-teman di HR team. Ada talent acquisition, ada people operations yang ngurusin payroll, ada HR business partner yang think about kebutuhan dari masing-masing department in a company, ada compensation and benefit strategies. Nah, so I'm sharing this all to you guys just to let you know there are a lot of interesting things you can explore eventually in the future. And where to start is as simple as start asking yourself gitu kan, what do you enjoy the most to do all this time? Are you enjoy more interacting with people? Misalkan identify their skills and then translate into a position that will be in HR. Are you enjoy more thinking about a strategy in a business? How business can achieve their goal and then manage high-level stakeholder. Usually it's more in the finance side of the company. Atau you are more passionate about creating product. Nah, misalnya. So start identifying that things that excite you. Karena at the end, what would be more exciting than doing things you love and getting paid at the same time gitu kan? It's like learning, tapi you are getting reward out of that learning process. Nah, last part, I just want to clarify, like what Flavia shared earlier gitu kan, things that most people love about working at startup and things that you can expect gitu. So by the time you join, you have the right expectation. In short, what people love adalah learning opportunity is very, very massive gitu. Artinya, simply banyak hal yang startup company lakukan itu adalah hal baru yang mungkin the founder itself doesn't have the formula. So as a talent, we have to be self-driven enough to identify what is the best way to do such things untuk bisa achieve goal-nya company. And then fast track career progression, we might think kalau misalkan back to 10 to 15 years ago, our parents generation gitu ya kan, mereka kerja di company like for 10 years, 15 years, which is not a bad things, tapi in this generation we are privileged, we are lucky enough when we work in this startup company, karena relatively company size-nya masih kecil, so everyone yang doing really well is much more easier to identify by the management team. It's much more easier to be recognized. Your performance is going to be recognized. Dan if you're lucky enough, the company punya financial capability to reward you, of course, acknowledgement itu bisa dalam bentuk salary review, bisa dalam bentuk promotion, bisa juga dalam bentuk exposure, expansion for your role gitu kan. Nah, on the other side, as I want to talk both like the apa namanya the bright and the less bright side gitu ya. Karena I'm not gonna say that career opportunity in startup is the best, tapi it's suitable if you are the right person. Nah, you have to be able to cope with that fast-paced environment. Like what I said, things might changing at such apa namanya short time karena once company prioritize things, they really need to make it happen, so that it requires the people untuk juga bisa memproses informasi dalam waktu cepat, membuat keputusan dalam waktu cepat, tapi pastinya seakurat mungkin gitu kan. Misalkan as a product manager, which feature you want to prioritize to launch? Misalnya fitur booking atau fitur payment, sama-sama pentingnya, tapi you need to have a clear reasoning for every decision that you make. Dan we do not have the luxury of time gitu kan untuk terlalu lama memikirkan. And then second, karena biasanya we are not much provided with training, like what our friends in corporate are privileged with, sehingga even at the most junior level diekspektasikan untuk kita punya what is it called as self-driving and initiative gitu, untuk berani communicate, clarify ke our manager, ke our leader, is what I'm going to prioritize is the right thing that you expect. Is it aligned with your expectation as my leader gitu. Sehingga pada akhir performance kita, we are doing both what satisfy us and mutually satisfy the company needs juga. And then the third things, ability to catch up with rapidly changing environment is talking also about sometimes it's not only the goal that is changing, tapi mungkin leader kita juga berubah, right? Our teammates gitu mungkin datang dan pergi, and different people around us itu kan kadang juga put a different nuance gitu kan to us, and again we have to just be flexible enough to cope up with all those changes, but still be sure with what matters the most at a time. Nah, so that's perhaps all that I can share. Just want to let you guys follow our firm updates at AL5GWC.ventures. Those where you can find news about which company that we just funded, and then what our portfolio is currently doing, and more community update at our community firm at the D.Alpha Hub. So you can find some event that we might organize in the future. And of course, the most interesting part for you who are keen to explore opportunity with Alpha or even with our portfolio companies, there you go with our career email. Right, so get back to you, Flavia. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Clarissa. But then I know that the time is a bit running out, but then I'll take one question since I asked Jessica before. So you got a question, how can Alpha create value in their portfolio companies? For an example, like North Star, focus on the mass market and the bet on Indonesian consumer story. What about Alpha?
Yeah, so thanks for the question. So speaking on that, kebetulan my role in Alpha, if you guys are wondering, I'm not doing the analysis on the investment side, but I'm doing the portfolio management side, which is called under the value creation team. So the simplest way buat bayanginnya gini, kalau investment team itu mereka do the work mostly before the deal happened, right? Analyzing about the company potential and everything. And then once Alpha get into the company, post-deal activities-nya, which is analyzing the company's organization structure and then helping them with building the key leadership team, itu what my team I and my team in value creation team is doing. Jadi our value creation team itu consists of few people with expert in talent and organization, and then I also have peers who is doing PR and strategy communications, also marketing, also a legal consultant. So what we do adalah we assess our portfolio companies with what they need. And in my case, I'm helping them a lot with the process of building the organization capacity and capability. So brainstorm with the founder, okay, with this business objective or milestone that you want to achieve, if we have to translate that into your hiring plan, how that plan will look like gitu kan, role apa sih yang your company needs to hire, dan orang yang perlu di-hire itu kurang lebih background-nya seperti apa, kira-kira dia datang dari industri mana. Ketika dia join nanti, role-nya apa yang akan dikerjain, scope-nya apa gitu, supaya align untuk bisa deliver dengan yang dibutuhkan company. And then I'm also covering that process of networking with talent, getting this outstanding talent introduced to our portfolio founders untuk kemudian bisa join to Alpha portfolio companies. So what we believe in value creation team adalah we play a very influential role in our company success. We do things that otherwise without Alpha value creation activity, it might be challenging for the company to do it alone. Gitu sih, if I can answer the question.
Thank you. Yeah, hopefully that answered the question. And yeah, we wish that we have more time to talk to Jess and Clarissa. But then yeah, maybe we can have another session next time. Thank you, Jess and Clarissa, for today's session. We are so grateful that you guys can come in and share, give insights to the students. Where I think to summarize all the things today, that exploration is really important. We talk about how important it is for the university application in morning until afternoon, and here for employability as well. It's really important for you to manage your expectation, get prepared earlier, so you have a better CV, and then you can list all the experience up there, and then train your soft skill as well, right? As Jessica mentioned, a lot of things that you can't build instantly, you have to keep training yourself. And so during the interview, you can't just like hard sell yourself, but then by telling them some examples that you experienced before, and then you can show off yourself and differentiate you from the other applicants. So I think the takeaways from the session is start earlier and create a stronger personal brand, and prepare, strategize better, understand about what's different between startup company and a mature company, what to expect as well, aim where to work for. I think the most common one is I often hear accounting students, they know where to work for. They want to start with the big four as like a first milestone, right? So I think that's not only for accountant, and I guess someone is smiling over there, but then yes, not only for accounting and finance students, but I guess it's actually for everyone, because that's actually the stretch goal that you want. You have to know what you aim for, so you can strategize yourself better. And yeah, aim higher as well. So if you can prepare better, why not to aim higher? So I think that's it for today. But I guess I want to just do a last reminder about the All in ANNIFE5T series, because it's not only for today. Let me share my screen. Yeah, and then the feedback form, it's gonna be in the chat box, so feel free to fill in and then what to expect from us, maybe another topic from Clarissa and Jessica, or for anyone else. We need those inputs from you guys. And don't forget to join our Patient Explorer Live the weekend on the 24th and 25th if you like investment and finance, because there we are going to do a bunch of hands-off workshop about actually this is for the computer science lab. Yeah, we passed the investment already, but then we are going to have it in June or July. I think the flyers are going to be next. Yeah, for this one is the workshop for computer science, and we are going to do some projects as well. And this one is for the middle schoolers. This is a project-based program where you are going to combine business, design, and also engineering in AI machine learning. So we are going to level up the project. We are going to do a lot of AI-based project. This is an offline event, and another one for high schooler students. This is a 10-day program where you can pair up with professionals from a company to collab on a project, and in your chosen field as well. So there are a lot of streams that you can choose on to sharpen your skills, to touch up on your CV, and then make a stronger one. Meanwhile, you can explore yourself as well, whether just to reconfirm whether that's the one that you want to do in the future for your major and also your dream career. I guess maybe if there are some parents here, you can fill in, help us to fill in the survey that we have, so we can keep improving. Today mark our 5th anniversary, but then we want to keep improving and serving you guys. So please help us to fill in and get a chance to win the prize. You can see it in the form for all the prize choices. So today is the first day we are going to have a corporate speed dating on for the alumni. Don't forget to join in if you're alumni. And then we have a session for teachers. But then another big day is going to be next week, Saturday, on April 17. This is the rundown. We are going to meet our mentor who always help our students to prepare for the application and the exploration and how to build a personal brand and profile building. And the parent can also submit their stories as well. So we can talk about it, like not like a made up case, but a real case that you are going to face, learn something from the session. And we have all in scholarship announcement as well, because we want to give it back to community. We've been doing good so far. So we want to support students in needs who needs our help to apply for their top application, especially for scholarship application, because it's gonna be tough. And then we are going to announce the essay writing competition and also a personal brand competition, a little bit coaching over there. So it's gonna be a like a yeah, it's a coaching session. So where if you didn't join the competition, or if you miss it, or if you decided not to, but then come in, you will learn about essay tips, and also how to create a good personal brand and put it into a video from the experts. So yes, that's it for today, and I hope I can see you guys next week. And thank you once again for Clarissa and Jessica, and for everyone else from All In who already joined the session. So yes, thank you so much for today. I hope I can see you guys next time. Okay,
Thank
bye.
you, everyone. Have a
Thank
great,
you.
have a
Bye.
great
Take
day.
care.
Bye.
Bye.